We're talking about ghosts, y'all. If you get easily freaked out by things, don't listen.
And some of our stories may contain uncomfortable topics. Listen with caution.
This will do.
Welcome back to the Scary Time Show.
We had a technical setback.
We are bad at our jobs.
Welcome to Spookysode 6.
Six.
And we're saying welcome back because the first 30 minutes are gone now.
They're forever lost to the ether.
That's probably okay.
That's all right. Wasn't great.
Wasn't great. We weren't jiving yet.
We weren't on the track to success.
Yeah, we just finished our live, and I think we'd talked a lot, and we were both kind of like
Over
talked
talking.
out. Yeah. We're talking or not talking.
Talk or not talk for hours.
And still find things to not talk about.
I love her. So, a special hello to our Patreon viewers.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
Have you been all right?
I don't remember those.
Lonely.
Okay, all of that's gonna
This
go.
is what y'all get. Hi.
If you are not a Patreon supporter and you'd like to be, you can hit us up over on patreon.com/wbahpodcast. And for the low ticket price of $5 a month, you can have access to our Facebook Lives that we were just talking about.
And footage.
And footage from the Spookysode.
And ghost investigations, which
Hell
we're starting to do as we get brave enough to do them.
And getting better at them all the time.
All the time.
So as we've said 3 times already.
Yep.
This makes 3rd.
Yep.
Next Spookysode 7, is going to be at a very special location.
Yeah.
Special location that has been investigated by many big names.
Everybody who's anybody.
Anybody who's alive.
Yeah.
Has been here.
I mean, even you.
Even the dead. Especially the dead. Even you.
Even you.
You just don't know it yet. And an important thing to bring up is by the time this releases, the Wednesday that this comes out, we have checked in to where we are going to go.
Yep.
And because the next episode is going to be so special and so exclusive.
Oh.
Extremely exclusive. Very hard to get into it was.
Yeah, it really was.
This one is a little bit more chillax.
Yeah.
We went to a local spooky spot. Where'd we go?
We went to Arlington's Screaming Bridge.
Screaming Bridge in Arlington.
Screaming Bridge.
Not too far from Arlington's state Six Flags of Texas.
Which is so creepy at night.
Yeah.
And they had no lights on.
Yeah,
and
nobody's there.
Looked like a roller coaster graveyard.
Yeah. Yeah, and we were talking about things that are normally crowded with people. When you do see them completely abandoned,
It's dystopian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just hits you very strange. And across the street from that is the Hurricane Harbor.
Yeah.
And that's even worse because sometimes, especially through the winter, they don't have water in the rides. And that's even worse because that especially looks dried up.
Yeah. It gets all kind of bleachy looking, I feel like.
It's like right out of Fallout or something.
Yeah.
Like it's just extremely creepy. However, that's not where we went. Where we did go.
We went to Six Flags last night.
We just had a great time. We went to the Screaming Bridge. I just realized half of my face has been hardly on the camera, and I need to have my face on the camera. So yeah, we went to Screaming Bridge. We did a little bit of EVP work, which was interesting.
A little bit.
Got a lot to say about that.
Yeah.
Had possibly an experience.
Maybe.
That we need to review in post.
Oh.
So fancy. Big podcasters. And the Screaming Bridge itself has made its way onto a lot of the most haunted lists.
Yeah.
Scariest place in Texas. And we went. Oh boy, did we go.
We experienced the aura of the haunted bridge.
Got up in its aura.
Yeah, we did.
Got all up in the guts.
And it didn't feel great.
No.
Not a good feeling.
Very very specific.
Yeah.
The feeling was very specific.
Yeah.
And we want to get more into that, but before we do, this episode is brought to you... No. This very special, spooky episode.
Yeah, man.
There it is brought to you by Who can we thank for this episode?
This very special 6th
I
Watkins.
thought you were going to say this very special sick episode.
Sick, lit fam, ill episode.
There you go.
Is brought to all of your ear holes by Clever Kim's Curios.
Oh, yes.
Y'all, Clever Kim's loves Witch Bitch Amateur Hour.
She really does.
And Clever Kim's Curios makes jewelry as unique as those who are drawn to it.
Yeah.
Featured on shows such as Charmed, The Orville, Vampire Diaries. This worn art is not just drawn from nature, but features the power and beauty of nature itself.
Using ethically sourced bones and stones, and inspired by magic and the moon, Clever Kim's Curios resonate with innate energy and grace. Find a perfect piece of jewelry to harmonize with your inner witch. Check out cleverkimscurios.com, link in the description. Find her on Instagram at cleverkimscurios. Followers of the Witch Bitch, and here we go.
This is big news.
Here's the shit that slaps. You ready? Followers of the Witch Bitch Amateur Hour can take 10% off of their orders with
double digits.
Goddamn. With the code Witchy Bitches.
Witchy Bitches. I love that code.
WITCHYBITCHES. Witchy Bitches.
It's good shit.
It is really good shit.
It's really great shit.
I know that we've absolutely rammed your eyes full of it online. But,
but it's because we can't stop.
No.
It is what it is, and it's brilliance.
Clever Kim's Curios is an addiction.
It is, yeah.
It's a problem. And she is just one of the most Banff-ass people.
She really is.
In the entire world.
So give her a look in.
We're proud to call her a friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
Check her out. Don't forget to use that code Witchy Bitches and incorporate some blessed ass jewelry into your life.
Oh yeah.
If you're a fan, and I just want to say this, if you're a fan of like kind of macabre, creepy stuff, it's not all spooky stuff. Some of it is like elegant and delicate.
Oh yeah.
But some of it is real spooky, and it's titties.
There's a lot of, she uses a lot of organic materials and things like that.
Also very respectful.
Oh, yeah. She's really big on sustainability. Yeah. So if that's all your boxes, if those are all checked.
If it ticks all your wiggles.
All your wiggles.
If it wiggles all your ticks.
Ew.
That's what I was going for.
Is it, though, really?
Yeah, now it is. All right, let's move on to Spookysode 6.
Spookysode 6.
Cue that spooky music again.
There it is.
If I feel like doing it in editing, that'll work out. All right, so before we talk about our experience at the Screaming Bridge, we want to tell you the tale.
The lore.
The urban ledge. And if you'll all forgive, everyone who's watching us at home, please forgive that we are using our phones as notes. My printer had an absolute tantrum.
Yeah.
And just didn't. Okay, so this story comes from theboneyard.org. Now, we have already said all this, but I want to say it again. This website was the most put together, most researched out of every bit of information we could find on this particular...
there's a lot of variations or just complete deviations. But this one seemed to have like actual researched names and things like that in there.
And also Reddit really helped a lot.
Reddit is for local shit. Reddit's the best.
It's the best. And I had a very creepy kind of serendipitous thing happen that made me go, okay...
Let's roll.
Something's weird tonight. All right, so first of all, let's start off with the story. In February of 1961, there was a car filled with 6 Arlington teenage girls that were out joyriding after catching a movie that evening. Now, this is in the 60s, early 60s, so
60s.
I can see it.
Oh, I can see
them cruising.
Big, long car.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Maybe some of them, like, sitting where the roof's supposed to be.
Probably,
like, top down. Poodle skirts for no reason, even though it's the 60s. Okay, so the girls were out joyriding after a movie that evening, and as they approached a crossing at approximately 45 miles an hour, which seems real specific, the incline of the road prevented them seeing that the bridge that they were approaching was out. And at 9:30, their vehicle left the road and impacted the other side of the ravine. This instantly killed Mary Goldner, who was 16 years old, Claudie Reeves, who was 17, and by 2 a.m. on that morning, Kathy Fleming arrived DOA at Baylor Hospital.
So 3 girls.
3 girls died. 2 of them actually went on to live, but had very serious injuries. One of them needing like brain surgery.
Yeah.
Something that was a catalyst to this happening is as they approached the bridge, they noticed another car on the side of the road. And they saw it was a guy around their age. And he was honking and waving his hands and carrying on as they saw it. They thought he was trying to holler, I guess, at them. He was trying to warn them that the bridge was out. And he's flashing his lights, waving his hands. But to them, it looks like he's trying to, hey, girl, or whatever.
Yeah.
So they speed up to blow past him and end up hitting that incline, probably even harder than they would have before.
Yeah.
So after the accident, it was noted that the bridge, the reason it was out is it had been burned before. It was damaged from a fire. And apparently nobody really knew who did it. Word on the street that it was just some young vandals, or even, as it says here, hobos, had burned it. Barricades had been positioned on the bridge along with, they call them here smudge pots, which is interesting to me. But I guess they were kind of like those, they were the precursor to the flaming on the side of the road things. It was lit up, basically. And somebody had come along and removed those. And even before this incident, before the burning of the bridge and the accident that it caused, this road was called, every road has like a what do they call it? Like a highway to hell.
Yeah.
Or like the Death Bend or whatever this road was actually called Death Crossing because so many people had been in accidents before. Yeah. It wasn't long after the crash that they actually found the culprits of the burning. And I think you should take it from there.
I'll take it from there.
Take it from there.
Let me get my notes.
Let me put my specs on. And can I just say, as you're pulling up your notes, this is real fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, in a lot of ways. We'll get to it.
I have thoughts.
Thoughts.
Okay. So, yeah, like Charlie said, the bridge was out. They didn't know if it was vandalized or hobos. Or whatever else they thought up.
Just hobos going around burning bridges, I guess.
Yeah, for kicks.
Sure.
So before this night, the bridge had previously been burned and repaired 2 years before, 2 years prior.
So burning this bridge is a thing.
It's a thing, I guess, people enjoy. So one of the girls who passed in this accident, Claudia Reeves, was the daughter of a highway patrolman, one of the ones actually unfortunately investigating this, and he was suspended actually from that to attend her funeral. Upon returning, they were kind of able to identify the identities of those responsible for burning the bridge. And it was 4 Arlington High School boys, Clinton Varys, Tracy Stanley, Ronald Maxmore, and Richard Truett Rivers. And they were indicted and brought before the grand jury, which declined to bring charges on February 17th. The boys got off scot-free. I guess maybe except for some existential guilt.
I mean, yeah, there's no way to say what they actually went through.
Yeah.
But legally, dick.
Yeah, nothing.
I mean, maybe they got a slap on the wrist, but...
Because that's the thing. Yeah, I get it. They were in high school, but you're in high school old enough to not destroy a bridge.
Yeah. And it also feels like... Back in the 50s, 4 boys burning down a bridge. That's just boys will be boys.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you do that, and it's like, wait, you're in trouble because you burnt down a fucking bridge.
Yeah, people died and you
somebody,
knew they were going to die.
Yeah.
Manslaughter, at least. The boys' attorneys, their names were Ronald Altman and Byron Matthews. They said that their clients were driving on Arlington Bedford Road on January 27th, 1961. And when they stopped at the bridge over the ditch, and one suggested setting fire to the bridge. Let's just burn it down, guys. Hey, what else are we doing? Let's see this bridge. This bridge people use to go over this ditch. Let's burn it. So
that has to be like a pyromaniac or something. Because who just goes?
I know.
Let's burn this.
Let's burn this bridge.
Sure.
There was some racism involved here.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Because it's alleged that one suggested setting fire to the bridge. Some say in order to impede on the travel of the mainly black community who traveled that bridge at the time. So
just, for kicks.
Shithead kids. And mind you, they got off scot-free.
Right.
So they found some straw, apparently, and just struck up the straw and just drove off. Like, they didn't even manage it or anything like that. They could have caught the whole goddamn woods on fire, but they just set the bridge on fire and drove off. And the lawyer said, it was just a prank. I don't think there was any malice in their hearts. They are just young boys and didn't think.
First of all, what a shitty defense. You're a shitty lawyer.
But he got him off.
I guess so. But also, not malice in their hearts. They burnt a bridge to keep black people.
Yeah.
What?
But I guess in the 60s, they're like,
well, yeah.
good white kids.
Jesus.
4
girls died. Well, at least they weren't the star athletes.
Yeah. Well, their parents still have sons, so it'll be all right.
Their name will continue.
Ugh. So, after testimony from the boys, their parents...
What do you even say?
I don't know.
What do you testify?
And leading citizens of Arlington, defining them as good students and religious, the jury foreman declared their actions to be childish pranks and wished to give the boys, who had been withdrawn from the school, a new chance at life.
Yeah, that's a theme that recurs.
That's the ultimate slap.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh,
you
great.
Deserve a second chance for what you did.
Wonderful. So the grand jury then asked Tarrant County commissioners to post rewards for information on the removal of the barricades prior to the accident. So that's a question.
The real criminals.
Yeah. So the bridge was burned, but also those barricades were moved. And it doesn't seem that the boys said that was their doing. And it seems mysteriously somebody else moved the barricades.
If you're going to confess to burning the bridge, they might as well have said, yeah, we took things too. Because, I mean.
Yeah. So
why not?
That's what makes it weird. So there's that little thing. They opened an investigation, and it never was revealed who was responsible for moving the barricades. I kind of think it was the boys. Or the road flares from the burned out bridge. Nobody ever stepped forward. Nothing was ever claimed. The reward that was put up was never taken. Anything like that. So the wooden bridge was never replaced. Mind you, this was the second time in like 2 years that it was burned.
Yeah.
Remnants of the bridge were bulldozed and then covered with like concrete, like drainage tunnels. Like y'all have seen them, like run under bridges and shit like that. They were covered in asphalt up to the level of the original span, and it kind of served as like the draining ditch until another fatal accident of 2 women at a train crossing. So on that one, March 10th, 1994.
Forget how recent this was.
Yeah, I know. Ray Lynn Johnson and Tammy Lynn Dodson, they were trying to outrace an oncoming train, which I don't really know how you go about that.
Maybe they were just like, speed up so we can make it.
Maybe.
Like, maybe
oh, yeah, yep. Yeah.
Never smart.
Yeah, because it says the train, it struck the passenger side of their truck. One of the occupants was knocked out of the vehicle while the other one remained trapped in the burning vehicle. Both women died at the scene of the accident. After this 1994 accident, that stretch of what is now known as Greenbelt Road was closed to all traffic. You can kind of see it nowadays. It's like a long dirt kind of gravelly little road.
We parked at the end of it because we were afraid. You'll see in the video, those of you who are going to watch the video, the road was very narrow, and we technically probably could have. I was scared that we would blow a tire or something.
Yeah.
Also,
be stuck back there.
It's so narrow and there's no turning point.
You can't really get out of there that well.
Also, we were real close. We saw the reflection of the do not enter
the barricade
sign.
Gate. Yeah, it was close enough.
It was close enough, and also there was a feeling of I don't want.
That's the thing. Like we kind of just pulled and then just stopped, and it was like, that's good.
At the intersection, we were staring straight at it, but we were close enough.
Yeah, we were like that's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, much of the original road is obliterated, or gone, and no traffic travels that stretch anymore. However, there's a bridge now that kind of goes over the old original bridge area,
and kind of runs parallel, to it,
to where it would have been, and you can see down in there. It's very beautiful.
It's a nice little area. At night, it was if it wasn't for the overwhelming feeling of dread, it would have been a nice little country night.
Yeah. But there was an overwhelming feeling of
there
dread.
Absolutely was.
Big time.
And do you want me to talk a little bit about what people see
now?
Okay. this website seemed to be a little bit less about the urban legend itself and more where the legend kind of comes from. But there have been people who have claimed, even on the Reddit thread where people were trying to find it and discuss what bridge, because there was a little bit of contesting what bridge it was. A lot of people have the wrong bridge in mind.
Yeah, they do.
When they go see this particular bridge. So much so that it's like, one of the bridges is really popular and it's covered in graffiti and people sneak to it all the time and it's not the right fucking bridge. And then there's this one, which is fairly easy to get to, that people just don't. Oh, hey, here's a picture of it. Wow. Yeah, that's like literally where we were last night. That's where we were. Okay. But there are accounts of people who in this area, because this road, it's not huge. It's about 2 miles long. Yeah. If you're in this area, anywhere around the Trinity River, people at night, mostly I saw like midnight, would hear screams in the distance. Hence the name, the Screaming Bridge. Screams, moans, wails. Yeah. Some people shrieks. So in addition to hearing people scream, there have also been accounts of looking into the water and seeing markers. Yeah, glowing tombstones. I even saw one guy say that he was looking in and he saw like a little girl, which we don't have any actual stories of that happen. But as this says, there was numerous fatalities at this site, so it's very possible. So that's where we went last night. So depending on what we find in post, we may y'all may have heard that little spooky noise. We definitely heard something there. Wail. And at first, I thought it was a brake, like a car brake. And then something after that happened. Again, we're going to have to get really deep in we're going to have to, process the audio a little better. But I really felt... We both cried, or like both of our eyes immediately... Mine exploded with water. I was kind of shook. And I just felt spooky. Full of energy. Yeah. So as you saw, we drove out there. We first saw it. We kind of drove past it once, and then we looped back around. We parked the car, got pretty close, and as soon as we were driving around, it felt uneasy to me. But when we parked and turned off the AC and rolled the windows up so we would have a quiet space to kind of film in, and that footage was dark, but we didn't want to have it too polluted, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is you notice in that footage that we go to do EVP work, we go to ask questions, and we both kind of draw blanks. We could not... It's like we didn't even know what to say. It was the weirdest deal. And driving up there, I was like, I'm going to ask this, and there's even the basic questions that you always ask in an EVP sesh. Is anyone here with us? What's your name? Can you do, we didn't even do that. And both of us were just like, I can't, I don't know what to say. It was hard. The only thing I could think of was like, the things I kept thinking of felt almost inappropriate to ask. Yeah, it was very solemn feeling. I wanted to ask, are you mad, that you were riding in a car and you lost your life even though you weren't the one driving? Yeah. Things like that you would ask, but at the time I was like, you wouldn't say that to a real person. No, it's like, they might be like, well, fuck, that's personal. Be like, well, I haven't thought of that. Now I am mad, thanks. And then I wanted to ask if they were mad at the boys, but then like bringing them up felt weird. Just it was this big blank. It was very weird. Yeah, there was like a weird respect feeling that was very present. It was just like, boo, I don't know what to do here. Yeah, like, it was very heavy. Which to say we've done obviously spooky things before. We've been in these situations, and there's always a level of respect that you want to hold. Yeah. However, here it was more than that. Like you said, it was solemn. It was solemn. Yeah. There was also a feeling, and I noticed that we kind of talked about this last night, that along with this feeling of anxiousness and kind of dread and this heavy, oppressive feeling that honestly I haven't felt in a while. Yeah, it was a big one. Along with that, there was also this kind of sadness, this feeling of almost like, stay here. Talk to me. Yeah, it was lonely. What's happening? Almost that a spirit that doesn't quite know what's happened.
Yeah.
And they're very confused and scared.
Yeah.
Kind of had that vibe to it.
Yeah, it was not good.
And that, again, could be one of, in this story, there's 4 people who died there that
5.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In addition to, there's also, I saw, I think 3 other confirmed multi-wreck fatality wrecks on that exact spot. Very imprinted, also very recent. I mean, 1950s, not that long ago. Plus, there was something in the 60s
94.
and 90s. It's not that long ago.
Mm-mm.
So, at this point, I want to invite you guys to pop off over on Patreon. Comment under the videos.
Let us know what you think.
Let us know what you think of that. And depending on what we find, if it's super good, we might single out that snippet and put it on Facebook just for the sake of science. And then afterwards, when we left, we were like, let's get out of here. And it was a lot shorter, I think, than either of us planned on it being.
But we just had to get out of there.
But we needed to go. So we left. We got to that light. We heard the noise. That's hopefully you guys heard too. We took a right. Mace put the camera away. And after about a block of driving, we look over and out of nowhere pops.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, literally out of nowhere, out of the darkness.
Yeah.
Sprung like 150 white crosses.
Bone white.
And just all uniform, but it wasn't like a cemetery. They were like on the side of the road like memorials, but they were like inches apart, and there were like 150 of them. And it was just very jarring and strange. And for some reason, it really freaked us both out.
It really did.
It was just very ominous. It was bizarre.
And I'm sure it's very possible that it's like a demonstration by a church.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've seen them
like that. But the timing of it and just like the way that it looked at night.
And the feeling
it
of
was
it.
just very bizarre.
It was like you had entered this weird little, what's the word I'm looking for? Almost, you kind of glitched into another reality for a second.
It was spooky.
It was spooky to say the least.
Once we hit the main road, the main artery, we were like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah. After we left, we got on the road and we were both just like, let's get out of here. Yeah. And then the maps finally pulled up and it was like, nope, you got to flip around and drive through it all again.
Yeah, we had to go all the way back through all of it to leave. We're just like, oh.
And there was this guy on the side of the road.
Just walking.
And I'm wondering if he didn't try to make it to the famed bridge that is not the correct location.
Yeah, maybe.
Because that bridge is super famous. It's the one that if you go online, you'll see it's this one. And everybody goes and graffitis and does God know what God knows what out there. Probably shit with Ouija boards, But it's just hilarious to me that that's not even the right place.
Yeah.
But that being said, to find the right place, you kind of had to do a deep dive.
Yeah.
And I got onto local subreddits, and there was somebody who said, okay, this bridge is what a lot of people think it is. It's not that one.
Yeah.
It's this one, and they included a picture taken from Google Maps. And I was like, I'm going to try to find this and drop a pin so we can get out there. So I pull it up and I'm scooting it around. And I don't really recognize anything. I'm like, I have to look at it again. And I click over one tab. And then I click back and I notice that pixel for pixel, like it's in the same spot.
That's pretty cool.
Without even trying, without even thinking I was in the right idea, I was already like on it. And I was like, we need to go.
We have to go to this
Something
place.
wants to talk.
It was interesting.
So there's that. Let us know what you thought of the Screaming Bridge.
The Screaming Bridge.
And if you're in the DFW area / East Texas Canton-esque area and know of a spooky urban legend location for when we do these little smaller bites like this, let us know what you'd like us to see, you know. I know that out in Lake Worth, there is the Lake Worth Castle, which is so creepy. A guy, was infatuated with a woman and built her a castle that is inch for inch a replica of one from Scotland.
What?
And now it's abandoned and it's the scariest thing I've ever seen.
I gotta look it up real quick.
And 14 people have been murdered there.
Jesus.
Let me make sure that's actually what it's called. It might be the Lake Worth Manor
Lake Worth Castle.
Is that it?
Old
Here we go.
On Heron.
Old Heron Castle.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, man, look at it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Why is it abandoned?
It's abandoned and it's locked up tighter than a jug. and there's keep out signs all over it, and I guess nobody owns it right now.
Let's buy it.
Done.
Let's buy that big bastard.
Yeah, much money.
Oh, God.
I mean, as soon as you put haunted on something, that value goes up. Fucking Zach Bagan will be out there.
Can you imagine that as like a haunted attraction, though? If
Oh
you
my
renovated
God.
it and made it a haunt park?
Or yeah, like Cutting Edge should do that instead of the abandoned meatpacking plant. Fucking stupid.
Everybody does a meat packing plant.
You know their fucking radio ads. Okay, anyway, I think it's time to roll into our topics.
Our tops.
Should we flip a snack, see who goes first?
I think I should go first because mine's
Okay.
Well, mine's really heavy.
Yeah,
And
mine's less
Yours
hairy.
is more
Less
not
hairy.
Yeah, it's less hairy. So I think I'm gonna go first.
All right.
Bitch. I think it's for the best.
Sure. Hit me with...
Let me stretch. Give it a little bend.
Dip my toe to jacuzzi,
I'm
baby.
gonna resituate my body.
Resituate your buns.
I can
Put
get
your
all
buns.
up on you.
God.
Hi! I was sitting on my blanket.
God.
Oh, that's better. Okay, so I think you know what I'm talking about because you read my notes.
I'm pretty solidly have an idea.
What am I talking about?
Because I think I saw a tab, and I tried to not look at your notes, and I did a pretty good job of it.
Nosy bitch.
But I might know.
What am I talking about?
Is it the Mandela Effect?
Yes.
Ever since I saw it, my skin's been crawling.
Yeah, okay. So
oh my God.
I have to make...
I feel so bad that I ruined it for myself.
I have to make a PSA for everybody, and this is very
yeah.
important, and you need to listen to me right now. You need to give me your ear holes, and you need to pay attention. If you have anxiety or deep-seated fears in regards to like existentialism, simulation theory, anything like that, if that really eats you up, keeps you up at night, and just like chews you alive, this
Me?
is... Yes.
Can I leave now?
This is not for you. Skip this. It's just... If you get that kind of anxiety to where you fixate on this and that really, just know, okay? Just... This is very bizarre. It's something that I really personally am fascinated and terrified of. I have several examples of the Mandela Effect that I'm going to be talking about today, and I'm very excited about this because our coven has a beautifully wide age range, and many of these events are for different generations. And so I'm very excited to talk about these, and then in the coven... people can share what they remember, and things like that. And we have people in all of these different age groups that will be able to corroborate or be like, no, I remember it the way that it was, things like that.
Yeah.
So,
which, if one person can step forward and say, no, this has always been right, it will make me feel a little
well,
bit
I have theories on why some remember and some don't, perhaps. So I'm talking about the Mandela Effect, what it is in general, as well as, I believe, 4 examples of the Mandela Effect, and then theories as to why it happens. So I'm gonna roll into it. You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, as I'm going to be.
So the Mandela Effect term and website was created by Fiona Broome in 2009.
A lady?
Fiona Broome. Isn't that a cute name?
That is. What a witchy little name.
I know. To try to get to the bottom of mysteries that weren't really making sense in regards to the reality that we are finding ourselves in compared to the memories that we have.
I'm already uncomfortable.
These are the memories that thousands, if not millions of people in some of the specific cases all remember during the same time window. However, by all rights and evidence, they never occurred in our timeline.
The way you're slapping in our timeline on the end is giving me a severe pause.
Buckle up. It gets worse. So, the one that started it all in regards to this specific theory, the Mandela theory, is one where the theory got its name about Nelson Mandela. So many people, including myself, remember when I was in school, I was taught that he died in a South American prison due to an assassination, and this was around 1985. I remember this. I remember he was just always killed in prison. I knew this. This was something I knew. People clearly remembered the news of his death being plastered all over the news, newspapers, even a massive televised funeral that many people have very specific memories of. Oprah did a special about it. Others remember people wearing his prison number following this as like a memorial. People remember his widow, Winnie, speaking at the funeral. And there was a lot of controversy about her being there and her grief being faked. I'll talk about that in a moment. Oh, no, it's right here. Okay. Some people even remember Winnie becoming the president after his death, which is pretty widely remembered. So, in fact, people remember the media scandal that followed the funeral because there was an affair that Winnie was having with like this bodyguard companion character, and he was at the funeral with her. And that caused a lot of controversy, and they appeared together many times. Thing is, none of that happened. Not a bit of that happened. These memories, though, are global. And with people who are Turkish, European, the Americas, there's even, and this one was very bizarre, there were some people, and this is all from the Mandela Effect website, by the way. It's an archive of people who can share what they remember and things like that. There were some people who remember an episode of America's Next Top Model that featured a season where they were in the cell where he died, and one of the models was really upset about it, and they were just like talking about it. But now in the episode, you can still like find it, I believe, but someone rewatched it after it aired, and it's different. It's not the exact same as she remembered it being. It was altered, or something was different about it. And so then
I don't like that.
No, dude,
for some reason that
I know.
I don't like that.
So many people, still around mine and your ages even, because even though we were born after 1985 and we weren't adults at that time, we were taught in school. And remember, he was a martyr, pretty much. He died in prison. He was assassinated. And typically, though, there's this massive blank in his timeline until just like a few years ago. It's like, oh, no, by the way, he wound up being the president of South Africa. And it's like, whoa. No, he died. Like, and that's kind of where this all started. And it's that way for a lot of people. It's like, and then it's just like out of nowhere, no, he's president. He was, and it's just a totally different thing. And so that's the Mandela Effect and its origins. Now, let's talk about
one of the spookier one. I mean, I know it's the one that the whole namesake is from and everything, but that is honestly one of the spookier ones.
Let's talk about the one that made me realize something was actually going on. And I know this would probably be you too. The Bernstein. Let's talk about this. My eyes are already watering. I know it was Bernstein. I know for a fact it was Bernstein. I read those books religiously. I read them at the Richard Circle House because y'all had all of them on hardback. I know those books were Bernstein. And I remember this came out in like 2014. My eyes are, I know this. And it was 2014 or something. Like a post went viral. And I actually think it was George Takier who made it viral. And like, everybody was like, no, this is wrong. This is not correct. It was never that. I know for a fact it was never that. Nobody our age remembers it ever being Bernstein. However, according to all records, everything like that, the authors of the book, it's Bernstein. That's what apparently it has always been. Never not been that way.
See, that one gives me like, okay, because immediately on surface level, that's what I remember, right? Is I'm like, no, it's not this way. But then I'm like, maybe is it because I was a kid and I didn't know how to pronounce like stain, like I didn't know how to work that around. But then you see it spelled out. And it's wrong. Like, that's not what I remember.
It's not right. I can see the cursive in my head. Yeah. I can see it. And that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of people, well, and that's the thing too, people have pulled out their old books. They say Bernstein. Clear as day. And, it's one of those things, they're like, no, you're wrong. And they went and dusted them off, and it says Bernstein.
Yeah.
And so this, even though many people who grew up in, it's stayed now, even though most people who grew up in the 80s and early 90s recall Steen, Stein. So there were comments on the website, and it's an archive of people's memories, who were national spelling champions at the time, had parents who were English professors and grammar fiends, people who remember their grandmas teaching them how to say Steen. Clear as day, they remember all of these things. And it's so many people, however, it never was. And it seems it happened in the mid to late 90s. Something happened in the mid to late 90s, 95 or 97.
What happens to change such an innocuous little detail?
We'll get there. Ugh. I got a few ideas.
I don't want to get there.
So the name Bernstein comes from the authors, and of course they've since confirmed that it's always been our name. It's always been Bernstein. It's never Bernstein. Never once has it ever been Bernstein. See, I can't do it. It's wrong. It's fucking wrong. So that was kind of the Bernstein theory is what really put, I mean, of course the Mandela Effect is where it got its name, but that's
the one I feel like people our age are like, that's your first time and you just go, whoa.
And that one, yeah, it went viral.
Yeah.
That was a thing that it's like, no, that's wrong. And it doesn't make sense to people who can recall things before like 97. It's Bernstein. And then after that, it's Bernstein. Kids today know it as Bernstein. And it's just, there's a split there. And it's super fucking weird. So that's that one. That one is, how it is.
Mm.
Let's talk about Mother Teresa. This is a weird one.
Are you about to do something weird to me?
Well, first of all, how do you spell Mother Teresa?
Like Mother Teresa?
Yeah.
I've heard it pronounced Teresa.
How do you spell Teresa?
I'm really bad at spelling.
So my whole life, when I've seen Mother Teresa written or anything like that, it is Theresa. Just like how you spell. Apparently, no, it's not anymore. It is Teresa. And it's...
I thought there was like an H.
There is an H. There was an H. There totally was an H. There's not an H anymore. Does not exist. It is not the same. Even like, and on this website, people who like grew up in Catholic school are like, what the fuck happened to the H? And it never existed.
Yeah, I thought there was like I can see it written out.
Yeah. So that's the twofold debate. There's one about the name and herself, but also the date of canonization for her. And it's very strange. So many people, including me, I've always seen it. I remember reading books. It was Mother Teresa, spelled Theresa with an H, T-H. Right. And I remember I can see it clear as day in my head. I was like reading a page, almost maybe like an encyclopedia, and it was blue. It had like a blue thing, and it was Mother Teresa's picture. And this was like when I was very little, like early 2000s, and it said she was a saint. She was already sainted. She was canonized. And I've just always known that she was a saint because I read about it then. This would have been early 2000s. The memory is strong for people because in the 90s, many people remember that she was named a saint while still alive, which is unheard of. That was like, whoa, like literally no one had ever been canonized while living. And people, they remember, especially people deep in the Catholic faith, people in Catholic schools, having like water cooler discussions about it. Like, how does that work? Like, how does this happen? And she was alive and she was canonized. But things are kind of blurry about this. So, because following her death in 1997, it was a week after Princess Diana was killed. And another wave of memories state that Pope John Paul, first of all, a lot of people clearly remember Pope John Paul II canonizing her when she was still alive.
Okay.
And so that's one thing, but they have memories of him in this. And other memories are that Pope John Paul II waived the 5-year wait process after death to go ahead and make her a saint in 1999. So again, she was sainted before the end of the 90s. Also not the case. She wasn't sainted until like 2014.
What?
Yeah.
If you were gonna, I like half-assed thought you were gonna say like 2000, 2001.
No.
And I'd have been like, maybe people were confused. 2014?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No. I don't buy it. Because that was a thing. Like, that was the only freaking saint that I was aware of.
Yeah. No, sorry. 2016. She was not.
That's worse.
Yeah, I know. August of 2016. Because that's what started this one, is everybody was like, no.
I think I remember this because I remember people saying, no, she already was.
She already was. Yeah. I remember this. I remember this very clearly. I remember talking to people about it. I remember it being 1997. She was alive and they did it and she was still able to like do her work as a living saint. I recall all of this, and so people remember news articles, everything like that. Clear as day having these recollections. However, she was not actually canonized until about this time, August, like in 3 years ago. was when she was actually canonized.
Wow.
But most people who grew up during that time remember all of that.
Yeah.
Everything. So
I don't remember the dates and such.
But I remember
thinking like, oh, she's Saint Teresa.
That's what she was. And I remember reading it, learning about it in school. She was a saint.
Yeah.
Somehow, somewhere, something changed. So, so I got a couple more. These are smaller, but little things that are still very odd. And they're some of my favorite ones that just they're just like, this is weird, you know? And one of them doesn't really affect me, but I included it because of the age. I want to see how this affects other people. Mm-hmm. So this one, let's talk about the color chartreuse. So chartreuse is a color that when you ask people what you think it is, a lot of people, especially if they grew up kind of around the 80s or whatever, wine. It's a red wine color. It's like a deep burgundy, red wine, maroony purple.
Right.
And that's deep. Even people who worked in digital work, who've worked in art, who have, you know, made a living out of knowing their colors. Well, nowadays, out of nowhere, it seemed, it's now this lemon lime green. Literally the opposite end of the color wheel. Chartreuse is a completely different color. And it really freaks people out because it's like they lived their whole lives working and knowing a color, and now it's something else. And it's not an industry thing. Like, you look it up, but it's like, no, it's always been that color. So that's...
You know what's weird is there was an episode of something on TV and somebody said something with chartreuse. And I was like, what exactly? So I Googled it, and I remember seeing a lot of the yellow. Yeah. But every once in a while, there was like a red swatch. And I was like, what is happening here?
A lot of those are pictures where they have them side by side. They're like, which do you remember? Because more than often than not, if you look it up, because I saw some, it's like alternative memory sites.
Creepy. I want to ask Dad about that.
Yeah, what is chartreuse to you?
Yeah.
So that's that one. Like I said, these are small. Then there's the Jif or Jiffy debate. And see... This is a weird thing. So I was born in 94 and grew up, and I always remember the brand Jif.
Yeah.
J-I-F, peanut butter.
Right.
And, however, there's a whole generation of people who grew up, again, and I'll get to why the 80s and 90s seem to be a hotbed for these things.
I thought it was Jiffy.
Well, you would. So Jiffy is what most people before around...
It was Jiffy and Peter Pan and...
It's not. It's Jif. And a lot of people are like, well, maybe we're getting it mixed up with Skippy. But there's people who report these memories to where Skippy doesn't exist in their country. And they're like, no, it was Jiffy. I know for a fact it was. I can see the label. And people will describe the label, how they remember it. And I know that this one's close enough. But in reading the memories and people saying it was such conviction, they were like, no, I remember. I can see the label in my head. I can see the colors that it was. I know everything. They were like, I grew up on peanut butter sandwiches because we were poor.
I thought it was Jiffy.
It was Jiffy peanut butter. So again, that's kind of a minor thing.
But at the same time, I also remember that commercial that was like, Moms like you, choose Jif.
Choosy moms choose Jif. And that's what's so interesting is because the people who like with conviction remember it being called Jiffy are like, but I remember choosy moms choose Jif. So it's like there's this transitional weirdness going on with that one. So
weird.
Then, okay, so this is a little one. Sometime in the last like 6 years, Febreze changed to be 1 E instead of 2.
No.
Yes, it has.
Sorry.
And it never has had 2 E's.
No, sorry. It still has 2 E's.
I know.
I refuse.
Look at my arm. I read that one and I was like, what? And then, because I noticed it. About 2 years ago, I was at Walmart and I noticed that it was spelled just Febreze. And I was like, why did they change that? No, it was
Febreze because it was like breezy.
I can see the logo in my head. Never existed. Never existed.
Ew.
Yeah. So another one, and this one fucked me sideways, but Hunter remembers it the way that apparently our timeline says it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Looney Tunes. Spell it for me.
Like, I'm scared I'm going to get it messed up.
I recall.
It was Looney and then it was like Toons.
No. Tunes. Tunes, like music.
No, it was Looney Tunes.
Because they put their heads through the O's.
Yeah, and there was O's in Looney, and there was O's in
Never existed.
Tunes. Tunes?
Yeah.
But it's not music.
I know. I remember them putting their heads through the O's. I remember it clear as day, and it wasn't just the
And they were on the top and the bottom because they would, like,
yeah.
poke each other and shit or whatever.
No, it's apparently always been Tunes.
I refuse.
Never has existed otherwise.
How come some things are made worse by the Mandela Effect? Come on. I understand taking the second E out of Febreze, but leave it T-O-O. Leave the O's.
I know.
Why are you doing this?
I know. It's lame. So then, and this one, and I didn't put this together, and this one kind of freaked me out because I'm not a good speller.
Okay. Yeah, same.
I'm not great at it. And however, a word, it was like out of the blue, I could not spell definitely anymore. I could no longer spell definitely. Mm-hmm. And I remembered it, D-E-F-I-N, ately, A-T-E-L-Y. It's not. It's definitely, D-E-F-I-N-I-T-E-L-Y. It seems minor, but it's like, I just always thought I forgot how to spell it, but it seems sometime within the past 10 years or 8 years, it's not spelled definitely anymore. It's switched to definitely, and it's always been that way, and now a whole generation of people can't spell it anymore. And they used to know how to. And that one affected me because I spelled it, and I used to know, and then it's just out of the blue, I kept getting the red ziggly lines.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing, is the ziggly.
And you gotta click it. And so that's a minor one, but still it's weird. Ew. So what the fuck is going on? There's a few theories, and really almost all of them are absolutely horrifying.
Can't we just leave it here at the cute, weird things and not talk about the scary part?
No. We gotta keep going. Dude, I had a rough morning. So every dimension has a reality or its own specific frequency, as you can say. And these are much more, and these were much more stable and in line and cool before the interference of other waves. For instance, cellular waves, radioactive waves. Okay, so, think about back in our ancestor days, pioneer days, medieval days.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of electronic components or anything like that in there. There wasn't cell waves. There wasn't anything like that going on. Radioactive waves, even in minor doses, present in cellular airwaves and whatnot, cellular towers, all that jazz. So if you think about it, one of the theories is that all of this shit in the air, these frequencies that are altering the frequency of our reality, and if every reality has a frequency, it's causing them to shift to other ones. Mm-hmm. So if it's changing the frequency from this to this, that puts us in line with this other reality that has that same pattern, causing things to slip in and out. Yeah. To why you have some people believe...
Like radio signals, when you find the right one, you land on something, but you change it just a little bit and you're not on that station.
Exactly. All right. And so it's like these shifts happen at certain times, and the reality, just like in Rick and Morty, is slightly different. There's just a few things wrong, or a few things that from your memory that you remembered, or huge differences, like Mother Teresa's whole thing, and the Mandela Effect, and all of that. But that happens because we have all of these waves in the air. Another theory, and this one is freaky, is because of CERN. And CERN is the big bad clandestine bitch. And a lot of people know about CERN. They're the ones who use the particle accelerators. They helped discover the Higgs boson particle.
Are we going to get murdered for talking about this?
No, we're not. So a theory is, and there's a theory floating around on Facebook right now that, and this is what encouraged me to write, to do the Mandela Effect for this episode. So
my heart's starting to race.
There's theories out there that CERN, in doing what they're doing, basically they're smashing particles together. Some say that it can cause black holes and all of that stuff. And that's just some of the clandestine shit that they're doing. Apparently, they do a lot of, and they're private. They belong to no government. They're an independent agency, very mysterious and very wealthy. That they've actually ended our world many times, and in doing so, they've just kind of shifted us to a different reality before we knew. And we have not realized it, and we just have carried on, and that's why things are different. That's why there's a few minor things, is because they pushed us to another one before all hell went to the handbasket. Everything died before the other reality.
My face was stuck in a...
Yep. Another explanation is that others have memories of being in their current identity, such as me or you, and dying, but waking up almost like Kenny style in a different reality. And so that's another thing that people have reported. And then we run into the holodeck or simulation theory. And this one is the most frightening. And it's essentially, it could be something like the game Roy in Rick and Morty, to where this is just a game. And it's The Sims, but a way high-tech version.
I get it.
We're self-aware.
All right.
And maybe you go on a vacation, or maybe in the future when you recover from surgery, instead of feeling the pain, you put on a headset and for 2 weeks of that healing process, live a whole lifetime. I don't know. But to fall in line with that topic is the complications that come to advancements in the program. So think about back in Stone Age times. There wasn't a whole lot of detail there. There wasn't, think, for instance, this computer that we are looking at has a hard drive. It has a memory. It has files to remember. It has images on it. It has code itself powering that computer. And that's just your computer. These mics are full of singular, individual, tiny components. All of these things have to work just right. And that is just in one room in the world.
And when they don't, little things like our weird microphone anomalies happen.
Yes, you know.
Okay.
So there's a lot going on. And so so think of the difference between Pong, the game, and Skyrim.
Yeah.
When you think of the game Pong, you don't think of glitches.
Yeah.
It was a simple structure.
And when you think of anything made by Bethesda, such as Skyrim,
You think of glitches.
all you think of is glitches.
And it's the same concept. So basically, as our society has grown and become more detailed, smaller, finer details, complications, things like that.
So it is like that episode of Rick and Morty when it gets really complicated and everybody starts glitching.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's essentially that's what it is.
Yes. And so the program is having a harder time, or maybe it's having to update and save more. And in doing so, every time that happens, something's just a little off.
That just means the computer's about to crash.
I know. So, yeah. So,
also, I guess ties into the why the Men in Black haven't really changed since the
that's what I mean. They're
50s.
programmed to be written exactly in that way.
Just hasn't been updated.
Yeah. Yep. So, or perhaps changes are gone on purpose as markers for those managing the timeline. So maybe the change from Bernstein to Bernstein, they call it the E to the A timeline. Maybe that A timeline is a marker. So for the people managing the timeline, if they're manipulating our time stream, or if they've gone back or forwards, if they see that, they know they're in a time stream. They know, okay, we did this code.
If Mandela is died,
yeah,
we know we're in a certain okay.
So sometimes they're believed to be markers.
Or died back then. Yeah.
Yeah. Others say they feel like time has drastically sped up in recent years. And it just feels strange. Like there's a strangeness to time. I can't really relate to that. But also, I do have to say, there's some people on the website. There's a lot of people with excellent memories. But there's kind of some people on there that seem like they might actually be schizophrenic.
Right.
Like there might actually be problems there.
Well, I mean, also, as we get older, just as human beings, it's natural to feel like, I blinked and I was 20 and now I'm 40. It's natural.
It's not long, hot summer days being 8 years old with no responsibilities, you know? But
still.
Yeah. Others believe that these shifts in timelines are a totally natural occurrence. It's just the multiverse theory. We have a lot of different timelines.
That's a very chilled, laid back approach.
It's something we just don't understand yet.
I can roll with that because I very easily accept there's shit that we don't know.
We don't know.
I don't need to fight with it. I don't need to grapple with it. You know what? It's just
and there. At least us as the masses, perhaps the higher or like the more clandestine organizations do understand how it works, and maybe they can manipulate it. Some people have really looked into the patterning and say that the shifts seem to happen in patterns. So like there's year patterns or something like that it seems to do. Either way, we have no idea. At the end of the day, it's a bunch of memories that people remember, myself included, with conviction that we are being told never existed.
Yeah.
Even though I know that they did.
And the fact that there's so many people
all over the world.
And I understand that sometimes when you present something like, it used to be this way, not this way, our brains as humans they're extremely flawed.
Yeah.
Our memory system in particular is not good.
Yes.
However, when you come to someone and say, it wasn't this way, it was this way, you're very likely to be like, wait, yeah, I don't remember it this way. But when you say, like you did to me, spell it for me.
Yeah.
How do you remember it? You're not telling me that it was wrong or it was a certain way. You're just saying, spell it for me. And I still got the answer that, like, isn't right.
Yeah.
That's a little fucky.
It's all, and that's the thing. And this phenomenon troubles me deeply.
Honestly, dude, right now thinking about the whole, like, okay, because another part of my existential fear that we talked about a little bit on the live stream is the concept that you may be the only real person in your reality. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because if you said, I'm afraid I might be the only person, you're not real. I myself in my own brain go, well, I know I'm real. Yeah. So if you looked at me and you said, Charlie, I know I'm real, so that can't be right. There's no way for me to prove that you didn't just say, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, even though it's easily, you can never disprove it technically. Yes. So that one has always really fucked with me. So the idea that, like, I'm just laid up in a hospital bed having my appendix out and I'm not me and nobody that I know exists ever. And I'm going to wake up and be like, oh, well, that was fun. And I'm going to be some, like, completely different person. Makes me want to throw up.
I know, it's terrifying. It does me too.
It makes me want to throw up.
When I first watched Rick and Morty and saw the Roy episode, it really fucked me up for days. So
how do you say, like, he's like, you just, congratulations on your mediocre life.
Yeah. He's gone off the grid.
Where's my wife?
That's the same. I just love. Here I go killing.
Here I go. I love him.
I do. So, as you said, false memories are a super common thing in the human brain. Yeah. Like, major. Yeah, like hugely so. Big time. So, that is something to think about. However, when you really look at the fact that millions of people from all over the world remember the same thing, especially for the Mandela one, because people remember vivid details about the funeral. Yeah. They remember the tree that Winnie was standing in front of when she gave the eulogy. Like, they remember all of these things. It makes the question much more complicated. It's not as easy as false memories. Yeah. And especially people are commenting on this. They're like, I've carried this around with me for years and I've not told anybody about it. And, people are like, oh, fuck. No, I guess it's just me being crazy, So what is it? Perhaps the fabric of reality is thin or fluid. Yeah. And maybe we are slipping in between different timelines. Maybe the technology aspect of what we're doing is causing that. It's changing the frequency of our reality, causing us to slip in and out of other timelines. Sure. Is reality even real?
Don't ask me.
I don't know. At the moment, there is no concrete evidence, but that doesn't make it any less disturbing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's not really concrete evidence that reality is real. No. So
reality literally is in the eye of the beholder.
Either way, it's fucking terrifying.
That's the Mandela effect.
I need to, have a drink.
Researching that has been a very tough week. I've not enjoyed it, especially reading because I had to read through all of the comments, and some of them are like, also there's a lot of crackpots on there, and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, wait for 2029 when the cell waves. I mean, real crazy shit though, and there's a lot of that. But one guy was actually nuts, and he just casually said in a comment, and he was like, I get very manic when I'm in these states, and my wife brought a knife to bed tonight because she was scared of him. And it was like, no, you're a schizophrenic.
That sounds like an unhealthy relationship.
He's talking about oh, I believe I've always had thoughts that I was actually from Mars and not from here. Sure. And it was a weird deal. So there's some weird shit on there.
That's some mental illness.
There's a lot of normal people on there though that are like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I remember this. I have this memory because this, or my mom and me took a road trip and we had this whole conversation, all kinds of things like that. Time after time after time after time after time. That said, if y'all have your own memories, I would love to get a thread going on the Coven page. I would love to know what y'all remember. I would love to know if your realities basically corroborate the one that we're in, or if they match the ones that technically don't exist in this reality. Let us know.
let us know. Hit us with those big time Mandela effects and scare the crap out of us. Give us something to keep us awake for the rest of our lives.
Yep.
Okay, well, I'm going to move on from that nightmare. I'm going to roll into my topic here. I feel like I want to throw up.
I know.
I don't like it at all. I really didn't expect it to be that unnerving. I knew it was going to fuck me up, but I didn't know it was going to be like that.
It's very heavy.
Okay. So, from one nightmare to another.
Take me away from that nightmare. Shift me to the new dimension that is your nightmare.
Here's one that happens very much in this dimension and is not existential at all. I'm going to talk to you about something that is very popular. It's one of the first things that we listed as, when we do these spooky-sodes, we'll probably talk about, shadow people. We'll probably talk about this Danvers and things like this. And I remember listing this one. And it's just kind of been sitting in the background waiting. And it's very near and dear to a Texan's heart.
Oh, I know where we're going.
It comes to us from south of the border. This is a tale from Mexico. I'm going to be talking about the Curse of La Llorona.
La Llorona. It's pretty fucked up.
And I do want to go ahead and say that my poor little Spanglish speaking tongue is going to probably say La Llorona a bunch. And I know that's not technically correct, but forgive me. There's 2 L's there, and what can I do? All right, so this is a tale that comes to us from Mexico. But it's made its way to the surrounding areas. La Llorona is something that I have grown up with hearing about.
Yeah.
I have friends who...
Well, the Rio Grande.
Yeah. I mean, and it's it's one of those things where the actual location has kind of... Was it the Guadalupe?
Yeah.
Was it Rio? Was it this?
It's super broad. But the entity itself is pretty terrifying.
And as I said before, kind of believe in her. Kind of really could go for it.
Yeah, I could.
I have friends that grew up with Hispanic parents, whether or not maybe they spent half of their life in Mexico, or maybe their parents did, who it is still alive and well today. Mm-hmm. Parents, this is still very much a thing. So it's not kind of died down or become, it's not like the Mothman, Mothman we talk about and we're kind of oh, he's funny, he's cute, know, or Robert the Doll, where we're just kind of a funny little, might be true, maybe it's possessed, maybe it's not. This is a very, people are scared of her. All right, so La Llorona, there it is. La Llorona. This is a case of a spirit caught between the living and the spirit world.
Caught between 2 realms!
God. Jeez.
Death is so profoundly sad.
I'm not here to judge. I'm here to watch. Okay, so La Llorona is a ghost turned banshee through tragedy and anger. Banshees are one of the most terrifying
They freak me
out. Because they start as human ghosts, but through something
it's just distorted emotion.
Yeah. Because they become there's different types of banshees based on the past and how you passed away and the things that affected you. There's ones that are pure anger, and those are fucking scary. And then there's ones that are tragedy and sadness, which is very much this story. So La Llorona was born Maria in 16th century Mexico. Long time ago. She belonged to a very poor family, but was generally very happy, and she kind of made nice. She went and kind of, she wasn't sad about it. She wasn't, arms for the poor.
She was upbeat.
She worked, and one of her favorite things to do was she loved to go out at night, go out with friends, and just made kind of the most of it. And as the case goes with a lot of these stories, she grew into a stunningly beautiful young woman. Dead gorgeous.
She was the Elang-a-Lang of her day.
She was Elang-a-Lang. Maria! So anyways, as I was saying, she liked to go out on, the town at night. She didn't have much money, but she would don this white dress that she bought for herself. And she didn't have many nice things. And I saw some places that was a gift for her 16th birthday. And it was kind of plain, it wasn't super fancy, but boy, did she look good in white. And she went out and she rocked it. And it became kind of her thing. It was like her signature.
Mm-hmm.
She'd wear this white dress, made her feel good. We all have
that one
those,
outfit.
an outfit that makes us go, all right. She got a lot of attention from men.
The menfolk?
The menfolk. And she would go out and she loved to dance, and she would go to the fandangos.
Oh.
And did a little flirting. Nothing, really pretty innocent. Nothing too, scandalous. But would kind of go out, make eyes. She's having fun. She's a young lady having fun in 16th century Mexico. And one day she did end up falling in love with a man who had been vying for her attention for a while. Really was wanting her, threw some cash down, really made it rain, as it were.
Oh.
And he was also charming and handsome and incredibly, incredibly wealthy. And he swept her off her feet, right? So they were quickly married. And I feel like a story that begins with a quickie marriage.
It's usually not great.
There are some times where it's great.
Every now and again, one slips through, man.
But usually not great. So Maria's new husband built for her just a lavish home, almost castle-esque. Mm-hmm. And he would shower her in these gifts and love and attention and affection. And it wasn't long before she had 2 young baby sons. She lived a very picturesque life at this point. And this is a very quick span.
Yeah.
She got married, got pregnant, had the baby, and then immediately got pregnant again. Yeah. And okay, yeah, so she's living at home, this beautiful house. She has 2 sweet babies that she loves very much. And by all accounts, she really did love her husband. And a lot of these stories, just because the guy is handsome and rich, the lady in the story is just that's all she really wants.
It's like a means to an end. Yeah.
By all accounts, she was really in love with her husband. So as time passed, and I guess settled life with children was boring or something, Maria's husband began to grow cold to her. And she would notice him looking at other women, or he would not come home for nights on end.
Great.
And he was really taking to drinking and womanizing. And one day he left for work and he just bounced.
He went out to buy a pack of cigarettes.
He did. He went down to the corner store, get some cigs, never came back. What was it on that somebody said their dad went to get a vape from the store and never came back? So after his abandoning her, Maria bounced back pretty quick. She was sad, but she was not yet completely torn apart. I have to imagine something was lurking in there just because of how the story finishes. Yeah. Maybe it started at this moment, but she was all right. She had her 2 kids. She was doing okay. She had a home. And her favorite way to spend an afternoon after she kind of got over the sadness of it, because, when somebody leaves you, you're going to have a recovery period.
Yeah.
But she started taking her boys out and walking around her village, her hometown. And even on some days when she was really feeling it, she would put on this white dress that she had. Mm-hmm. And I imagine that it is at this point a much nicer dress than the one that she had when she was growing up. Probably gifted to her by her scumbag husband.
Yes.
So she started doing her thing again, to go out and just have fun and put on her little white dress, and took her boys on a walk one day. Well, so one day as she is strolling around the village, she's kind of walking along a riverbank nearby, and she hears an approaching cart behind her, a carriage, and she kind of sidesteps, gets a little closer to the water to let them pass, and it comes to a complete stop next to her, and she looks and sees that it's her husband sitting there with a brand new woman who is tragically beautiful and obviously someone of closer to his prominence
status.
Yeah, I guess. And they were both kind of just looking at her, and her husband speaks to the boys, says, "Hello, boys, sons, how are you doing?" He acknowledges them, but even after her speaking to him or begging him even, he wouldn't say anything to her. Eventually kind of just gets in the carrot, fucks off, goes away, trots away. And by all accounts, her boys are still really young at this point, so the fact that he's talking to people who probably, A, don't remember him. Yeah. And also maybe can't understand. Yeah. Is just a real dick move.
I think they would be 4 max.
Right, yeah. So he speaks a little bit to the boys, will not say a word to her, showed up with a new chick, and then trots out of her life again. After, I guess, not even saying, "Hi, sons, here's some financial support," Or
Nope.
I'm going to come around and at least
He wanted to
play a game of catch with you.
rub his new lady's face into her face and then just trot off.
And then go away. So after he leaves, Maria kind of sees red.
Yeah.
She honestly just blacks out. So in a flash of white hot rage, as you can imagine. I mean, the rage part, maybe not.
Yeah, not the action part.
Not what happens. But in a flash of white hot rage and sadness, she throws her sons into the swiftly moving river.
I just don't get that part.
And I have been so mad before that I've done something like out of anger. I don't think I would throw babies into a river.
That's the thing. Like, I know you wouldn't. Like,
No.
that's the thing. No one does.
And that's my thing is that
I think
she's
she was
not,
a little off.
She's probably not. There's definitely something going on.
There was something that made her capable in her head already.
Because everyone's done something maybe stupid in anger. I hit a door too hard. Yeah. Or slammed a door too hard is what I meant to say. Or whatever, right? My car hasn't started before and I've punched the steering wheel or whatever. Yeah. But I don't throw a baby in a river.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she did. She throws her babies in the river. Almost immediately after realizing what she did, like she was like, yeah, and then, oh shit.
Yeah, the panic and regret set in.
She dives in to retrieve them and cannot find them. Cannot find their little, any remnants of the, or not remnants, like clothes, or can't find them. And she searches frantically up and down the river everywhere, the banks, and she walks just miles and miles and miles along this river, and she becomes distraught. She has completely snapped at this point because from the point that she threw her children in the river, she never once ate again in her entire life. Yeah. She dives in, she looks for him. After a couple of days of searching, she's weak. People sighted her and saw her walking along and searching, and her once beautifully white dress is dirty and torn, and she's become rail thin, not eating in a very, as long as you can go without dying, and all she has the energy to do is cry. Yeah. She's screaming and crying, calling out her baby's names, and just wailing. I mean, she's a wraith at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
She ends up starving to death somewhere along the bank of the river. It did not take long at all for sightings of a woman in white to spread to all the surrounding towns. People started seeing a woman kind of drifting between the trees, which makes me think of the Living Dead girl.
Yeah, it does me too.
But along with rumors of what happened to Maria and what she did to her children, reports of missing kids started to happen. Mm-hmm. And this started to happen all over Mexico. Any waters, basically. Yeah. A deep lake, rivers that were 100 miles away from the river that had actually happened. People are starting to find drowned children. So stories start to circulate of what's the connection between these two things. Mm-hmm. Maria's death and the missing children. It was once stated that Maria, upon approaching the gates to heaven, she was denied entry because she could not answer for the whereabouts of her children. And she was told that if she were to return with her boys, she would be permitted to enter the kingdom of heaven. One theory is that she is trapped in a constant state of remorse over what she did, and that she is looking for her children, yet unaware that she's dead. Yeah. And then, either way, people are seeing this woman in white floating between trees, walking almost, I picture like Galadriel when she wakes Frodo up to talk to him about looking into the mirror. She's doing that very floaty walk. Children are being warned to stay away from unknown waters. There's almost a widespread pandemic, keep your kids away from the water, because kids are turning up missing. Don't even go out after dark, unless they become, unless you fall victim to what is now being referred to as La Llorona, which literally translates to the weeping woman. Yeah. People are even starting to report instances where they've seen, and this is something that stays alive to this day. People will say they knew an aunt who saw this, or I saw my sister, as a child, I saw her taken, and this is what happened. They would see her snatch up a child who got too close to the waters. She would beg them for their forgiveness. She would be, say to a child who's probably too young to understand, she'd be like, forgive me for this, which is terrifying. And then she would either drown them or stab them in the chest or the head, depending on the story. People are saying, I was out with friends and I saw my sister got snatched up by a woman who was screaming, I'm sorry, and drowned her to death.
Yeah.
So in some thoughts, and here's the one that I really do think that this entity is what's happened to her. I think she's simply confused and desperate.
Yeah.
For forgiveness or for some kind of resolution to her story. And some say she thinks that any child she comes across is her child.
Yeah.
At this point. It's been, 500 years since that time? So any child that comes across, oh shit, it's my kid. And she takes them and unknowingly and kind of stuck in a semi-imprinted timeline. You know what I mean? Like, so sort of intelligent, but also kind of reliving the same moment over and over, takes them and like throws them in the river.
Yeah. It's like she can't have the salvation. She has to just relive the crime over and over.
The horrible thing. She has to do that over and over again. However, when she's outside of this semi-imprinted timeline, she realizes what she's done and what she's been doing.
Yeah.
And that's why most of the times when people are alone at night near water or they've even seen her, she's screaming.
Yeah.
Shrieking, wailing, sobbing. And that's why she's got the name, the Weeping Woman. It's lasted for 500 years, relatively unchanged, the story is. And people, like I said, people swear up and down that this is actually true. There are so many people who say, like, I've seen this. I have seen this person. I was a kid, I was out by the water, and I saw a woman in a dirty white gown, and I knew to get the fuck out because I knew she was there. This, it's even said that those who hear her shrieks and wails have been marked with the penalty of death. Oh. And in the past, before, if you were to have said, I've heard her, it's like, Sean.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm so sorry, but you're bringing her.
It's like getting the black spot.
You don't want it.
Yeah.
You don't want it. So many of the stories that you hear are extremely sad. They're never like a fun campfire story that's like, one time I saw her and I heard her scream. It's either like my great-grandfather got, excommunicated from his family because he heard a woman scream once. Yeah. And he told somebody about it and they were like, La Llorona.
It's taken very seriously.
Yeah. That's the word I'm looking for. It is serious. It's a lot of these have an element of like fun, campy, spooky stories to tell in the dark kind of thing. But this one around these parts, it's serious. And a lot of people write it off as, oh, that's just what parents say to their kids to keep them away from the water. It's kind of like almost like a Santa Claus thing. Yeah. Like, be good or else. Except with ours, it's like you might not get presents. And then, like, with her, it's like you might die in a horrible fashion. So that's the tale. That's Miss La Llorona.
See, I've talked before about growing up with the books like Weird US, Weird Texas, very frightening books. And they were full of books of people's stories that they've encountered and things like that. So my perception of La Llorona is a little off. So apparently a lot of people around the Rio Grande have the legend that she has the head of a horse.
Yeah, you know what? I think that is, I've seen different variations. Sometimes she's got the horse head. Yeah. And in some other stories, she's actually brought over by European settlers who came over, and in their tale, she was a Native American woman who they came across. Yeah. Who would do these things to, like, settlers' children, I guess. Yeah. Because the horrible things that probably happened to her once the, settlers got there from Europe. But there's a couple of different backstories. There's a couple of really, like, fantastic tales out there. Yeah.
The horse head one fucked me up. Because I remember reading people's stories around the Rio Grande who are writing in about dealing with the horse-headed La Llorona. And it was so fucking scary.
See, in kind of reading about it, what I've seen is that is a different entity. that has adopted
the name. Because it's aggressive. Mm-hmm. It's like very...
Yeah, and her story is more tragic, and it's more like a happenstance, don't be in the wrong place at the wrong time kind of thing. If I remember, Horsehead, she'll like come for you.
She goes for you. Yeah, she'll go after
particularly, you. Isn't there a thing like with like grown men?
And a road. There's a certain road that she'll fuck. It's very aggressive. Yeah. It's freaky. And I
would like to go into that aspect of it. But that, from what I could find, was the passed down, very straightforward
original
oral tradition.
Kind of tale. Yeah.
So there she is.
Wow.
And now I think I'm going to get some coffee.
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
I have some from this morning. I mean, from not long ago, if you want me to heat up
from the flow up.
God, my skin on my... Shall we pause?
Yes.
Oh, crap.
Oh, crap! We're going to do listener stories now, y'all. Are you ready? I hope that...
I hope that you're ready. I stopped for some coffee.
Hopefully you're still in this timeline where you're listening to this episode.
I just blipped out of existence.
Yeah, that was a fun time. Mm-hmm. So this is sent in by Shannon M. Mm-hmm. They say... I am a career counselor at California State University, Channel Islands. Mm-hmm. The school is beautiful. Spanish-inspired architecture, large courtyards, antique tiled walls and ceilings. Oh. It's tucked away in the far end of the canyon in Southern California. However, this school was a mental hospital for many years. In fact, my great-grandfather was housed there. Additionally, it was built upon stolen Chumash land. Both ends of the campus are still abandoned. The remains of both ends of campus are still abandoned. The remains of a dental office, a playground, and old greenhouse can be seen when you peer through the broken glass of these buildings. My office is across from what was the procedure theater. Students would gather around the gallery and look down into the surgery to observe lobotomies.
Oh.
Love that. When I was first hired, my father was helping me set up my office. He informed me that my office used to be a cell. He's a plumber and pretty knowledgeable about construction. He pointed out the disconnected plumbing as to where the toilet and sink would be, and showed me the outline of where the walls used to be, and the bars still present over my window were pretty convincing. I regularly smudge my office and invoke my ancestors for love and protection since I am of Apache descent. My office is extremely calm and pleasant, and my coworkers find any reason to hang out there. However, in the hallway, you can regularly hear squeaky wheels of a cart, much like a gurney rolling by. It starts quiet, grows louder, and then fades away. I was walking one day and following one of the many trails on the west side of the campus. As I distanced myself from campus, I heard chanting, singing, and a drum. I recognized it as a Chumash song. It got closer and shifted into an angry war chant. I heard footsteps and angry voices. The grasses moved around me as though they were being thrashed out of the way. Much closer and closer and louder. The feeling of death started to crawl up my legs, and I felt rooted to the spot. I whispered for my grandma to help me. I then yelled out, I am Shannon, the bringer of rain. My grandmother is Shirley, Longknife. My great-grandmother is Hannah, Whispering Water. I will bring forth a rain that will wash you all away. I could feel my voice vibrating to the ground. All sound stopped. Everything became suddenly still. I turned around to go back to my office. Not one to continue traipsing along in apparently enemy territory. I saw that the trail I was on abruptly ended. Like someone had taken scissors and cut the trail off. About 4 more steps would have put me into a brambly and rocky ditch. I would not have been able to proceed deeper into the canyon, even if I wanted to.
Can you imagine walking and just seeing grass, like,
No.
part for you?
No. And then it's like parting as if like enemies are circling you and
not parting like
here,
come walk down this
princess,
lovely
follow this flower path, like parting like people are coming to kill you.
To kill you. I like how that there was immediate knowledge of like what you need to say.
Yeah.
Like, all right, grandma.
I like to think, that her grandma was like, look, I'm gonna like speak in your ear and you just need to like repeat what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now, at least she almost like spoke through her.
I've got a story here from Melissa T.
Mm.
We moved. Melissa T sounds like Felicity.
It does. I've been thinking that.
We moved into the house when I was a preteen. I guess this is the house that you're currently in, or the house in the story. Mm. This might be the one that they actually sent a picture of the house. Okay, so I moved into the house when I was a preteen. It was a 4-bed new build, and my parents were very excited that they could finally afford this kind of house in a nice area. Oh yeah, score.
Yeah.
Being a new build, I never even considered that something awful could be in this house.
Naturally.
But I have no other explanation. From the very first day we moved in, it was a very unhappy house.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. There were a lot of arguments, sadness, one thing after another that went wrong. I would never feel safe when I was alone in the house, but I put it down to imagination. That and only recently getting that little bit of independence where I was allowed to stay home alone when my parents went out.
That's
yeah.
all shit.
You're like, if anything happens, you definitely don't say anything because you want to keep being left alone.
But you also kind of don't want to ever be left alone again. Yeah.
The downstairs was fine, but the stairs and the rooms to the left scared the shit out of me. Unfortunately, this is where my bedroom was. Would it be any other way?
Always, it's got to be that way.
There was a constant feeling of being watched. My bed faced the bedroom door, and I would lie awake for hours staring at it, with the feeling that any second it would swing open and something would come through it. Mm. Much of my teenage years were spent with my hair looking like crap because I didn't blow dry it. As soon as I turned the hairdryer on, it just felt that something was right behind me.
Me too. That's why
that feeling?
I've never blow dried my hair.
I remember you talk about that.
I will not blow dry my hair because the moment I turn it on, I feel like I'm letting something in.
Really?
Yeah, I will not blow dry my hair. I never have.
That is fascinating.
I hate it. I won't do it.
I wonder if there's something that is
It's like the noise. Something about that noise. Yeah. I can't take it.
That's the way I feel
like
vacuuming.
Vacuums. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
something's happening here. What it is ain't
exactly clear.
All of these feelings were unsubstantiated, generalized feelings of uneasiness that I couldn't explain to my parents in any logical way. What are you going to say?
Yeah.
Until one night when my parents went out for dinner. I sat upstairs in my room chatting with my friends on MSN Messenger.
Wow, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you were. Love that.
Oh, the little, oh God, I remember everything about it.
The icon and everything.
And then everyone had their like away message was like real emo
I'm picturing
lyrics.
the different lines of color. Like sometimes you could pick your different font color.
Yeah, I had a friend that always typed in pink.
Yeah.
And like, it was just me, and then I would like try to change my color because I also wanted a signature color, but I could never land on one.
So your signature was just no actual signature color.
That was, yeah.
Love it.
It wasn't that late, maybe 8 p.m. when I heard the noise on the stairs. I turned off my music, stopped typing, and sat frozen.
I know that feeling. Yeah, you're just like...
I can't move or it'll get worse. I heard something start walking up the stairs. I could hear the stairs moving underneath its weight and the sound of trouser fabric rubbing against itself.
That's specific.
It was not the wind. It was not outside. It was in the house, and it was climbing my fucking stairs. I heard it walk all the way to the top, turn across the landing, and walk towards my closed bedroom door. That's intelligent.
Yeah.
That's something that knows you're listening.
Yeah.
I could not breathe. I quickly told my friend on MSN. I've had this discussion, I feel like. I quickly told my friend on MSN what was going on, and he told me I needed to get the hell out of there. I knew instinctively that it was not safe upstairs, but to get to safety, my only option was to go down the stairs. I grabbed the essentials, my phone and the laptop. I ran down the stairs and threw whatever it was. It was like running through a cloud of fear and hate. I shut myself in the living room and waited for my parents to come home. It happened again when I was home alone, but the second time it was not footsteps. It was the sound wind makes when it goes down the chimney.
This sounds like a poltergeist to me.
Except we didn't have a chimney. And it definitely came up the stairs. Yeah, there's something more to it than
the fact that
than
she
a spirit.
said everything was always negative, and it sounds like it just fed off of that, and now it's just fucking around.
And again, it came up the stairs and stopped outside my door. Yeah, so let's look at it. It's intelligent. It knows you're home. It knows you're listening.
And it is making you afraid for kicks.
For fun. And it's changed its pattern, which means it has the ability to change what it sounds like. That's not a human being. Whatever it was took a disliking to me and followed me for a while. I have woken up in a hospital bed to see a man sitting on the end of the bed watching me, and I know it was from the house because I had the same sense of fear. This was not an entity of protection looking out for me while I was ill. I had quickly closed my eyes and willed myself to fall asleep as quickly as possible. I moved out of the house when I was 18 into a different new build in a different area. Almost immediately, the feeling of being watched and followed began. Within a few months of living there, I had awoken to being violently shaken by my legs.
That's my least favorite fucking thing.
A thing, though. It's the legs. They'll shake your legs.
It makes me want to throw up. Like, it's a big problem for me.
Have you ever had that happen?
No. God, no.
Well, the feet.
It's gonna.
Is such a, well, now it's gonna for sure. It's heard you. The feet is such a, it's such a scary feeling anyway, for some reason. I'm always so scared something's gonna touch my feet.
I know, me too.
Shaking your legs. That's not the first time we've heard that. On my second occasion, my ankles were grabbed and I was dragged a few feet down the bed underneath the duvet.
This sounds like a poltergeist.
See, that's not off the bed, because if somebody was like, I was dragged off the bed and thrown against the wall, immediately I'm like, were you though?
Yeah.
So like, pulled a few feet down. That's okay. It is physically impossible for this to happen without someone else having done it. Yeah, but I was home alone. I saged the shit out of the house and myself, but to no avail. Finally, after living there for a few years and constantly feeling as if I was followed, I lost my temper.
I would too.
Yeah, man, get mad. All I wanted to do was to hang out the wet washing, and it was just there behind me.
Like, hang out clothes to dry?
Yeah.
Maybe she's saying, like, all she was trying to do was hang up the clothes and she could feel it there.
Okay, I thought it was like, I lost my temper. All I wanted to do was put the wet clothes outside. And I was like, is that like a ritual? Okay. I lost my temper. All I wanted to do was hang out the wet washing, and it was just there behind me. I span around and I told it to, I spun around and told it to fuck off out of my house.
I love it.
And the feeling went instantly. It has now been over a decade, and I have never felt followed or watched in this house again. If I had known it would be so easy to get rid of, I would have told it to fuck off when I was 12. Curse my polite upbringing, but most of all, curse that thing, whatever it was.
No shit.
So, it sounds like by all accounts, a weaker entity.
Yeah, it's a trickster boy.
Yeah, because with those guys, you can kind of say, the fuck out of my house, and they'll be like, I gotta go. But, not unterrifying.
Yeah. We have a story about summer camp.
Already a scary place to be.
Yeah. All right, here we go. This was sent in by Dara Z. This is a story from a summer camp I attended. They would also use the camp for retreats during the rest of the year. There was this old house on the property. It is photoed below for you on this map. It's a giant white house overlooking the lake.
I saw this picture.
Pretty? Or is it spooky?
It looks almost like an old church, like a chapel.
Wow, yeah.
Because it has like a higher part.
Okay. There was a story in which, prior to the camp being there, it was just a husband, wife, and their 2 kids. 1 boy, 1 girl, and waitstaff and maids. One day, one of the maids/nanny agreed to take the kids to the lake because it was just across the street. The kids got in a boat, and the nanny propped up a chair on the beach, and this was totally normal for all of them. Well, the kids usually rowed out a bit, would wave at the nanny, and then go swimming. Both kids jumped off the side into the lake, and after jumping in, the girl did not come back up. The little boy surfaced and started frantically looking for his sister. She had been taken by an undertow and was being pulled. The boy supposedly got back into the boat, waving his arms and screaming at the nanny that his sister was gone. The nanny ran to the house for help, and as soon as her back was turned, the boy jumped in to save his sister, and then they were both drowned by the undertow.
By La Llorona.
Sounds like it. People would say that you could hear the kids still running up and down the stairs of the house or occasionally running upstairs. Now, I didn't believe this until I was there for a retreat during the non-camping season. We were in the house doing a group activity during a quiet moment when we were all a hush. We hear kids laughing, then running above us, then small footsteps coming down the stairs quickly, yet when we all looked, no one was there. P.S. When writing this, Gmail kept saying it could not save my email progress, which indicates the spirits don't want me sharing it, but too dang bad. Also, I was a camper there during a few summers. Occasionally, I would see two small children looking out the windows watching me as I would pass with my group on our way to the lake.
They're just curious.
Yeah. I'd try to point it out to others, but I'd look back and they'd be gone. The next one begins with another story prior to me seeing things. There is a historical building in my hometown. It used to be an all-girls Catholic school. Legend has it that one day a male had snuck into the building.
As they do.
Fox in the hen house. It's speculated that this guy was a spiteful ex of one of the girls.
Oh.
Well, as he was approaching his ex's room, there was a girl alone in the hall, and from the back it supposedly looked like his ex. He came up behind her to slash her throat. As soon as she was on the floor bleeding, he realized...
I thought we were talking about like a little trick.
Yeah, no.
I didn't know we were talking about murder.
Yeah, apparently. As soon as she was on the floor bleeding, he realized it wasn't his ex. However, another girl came into the hall, saw the body on the floor, and screamed, alerting the others. After the incident, they closed the school. One of the nuns was so depressed over this, she was like a super cool teacher and cared for all of the girls. She was devastated that this occurred and that the school was closing. She supposedly took her own life by hanging herself in the chapel.
Ooh.
Again, didn't take this to heart initially, thought it was a legend, until I saw the nun and the girl. All caps. I was going to this building for an event. Pulling up, there was a white person on the 4th floor, second to the right window. I thought it was just a paper cutout because it didn't look real. Ew. However, when I was leaving, the white person was on the 6th floor at the middle window. I did a double take, and the white person raised its hand slowly and started waving at me.
I'm just imagining almost like a paper cutout.
I know, I don't like it, like 2D, weird, flat. Later, during my visit there, I was on my way to the bathroom, and down the hall, which was dimly lit, there was a nun. She looked lost, and at first I thought she belonged there because she was just walking down the hall. When I saw her, she turned around and walked away from me. It didn't hit me until I was on my way home. She was not touching the ground. She was floating about 6 inches off the ground.
You know, that's also not the first time we've heard that.
People, yeah, it's
you
like...
don't remember
your brain almost just plasters over that.
Until later.
We'll come to that later.
It's like, when you can... I'll let you remember
when
this.
you can handle it.
When you can handle it.
Yeah. Those are just the stories I have. My chest hurts just like last time when I shared my stories. It's time to cleanse and be done with my night. I hope you enjoyed the update and these few stories.
Whoa. Oh, man. You know what? There's something kind of nice, though, about the girl and the nun being there together.
Yeah.
I mean, because at least neither of them are alone.
Yeah.
This next story comes from Sarah M. Let me preface this by saying I am the biggest skeptic I know.
Okay.
I love it when we get a skeptic story. I'm pretty obnoxious sometimes when I'm trying to figure out how certain things work, but can also quite be the negative Nelly if it all smells of bullshit. I get that.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. But I could not figure out how this event occurred, and I saw it with my own eyes. The eyes don't lies.
Yeah.
Eyes tell no lies. Better?
Sure.
Do we like it?
I think...
Tell me I'm good. Validate me.
You're great.
Cool.
Gold star performance.
Now you're pandering.
I am.
My house was built in 1910 in a neighborhood of Cincinnati that used to be dubbed Helltown.
Love that.
I only mention that because it's badass. It has no bearing on the story. My kitchen is old, and apparently no one back then believed in storage or countertop space.
Dude, that is so fucking true, though.
It's a thing.
I've lived in houses built during that time, and yes.
Yeah. You've got, like, enough room for a stove and, like, maybe a small table.
Yeah, and, like, 2 cabinets.
Yeah. So I have a movable island that I prep food on. As I prep, I face the back wall looking directly at the fridge and pantry area. This happened on Monday, October 23rd, 2017.
Oh, I love it when it's specific.
According to the picture data. Okay, my best friend brought a bottle of wine for the party that we never touched because we're classy adults and had so much other alcohol available that we'd figured we'd have a bonfire another night and drink mulled wine then. No big deal.
Classy? I love it. Yeah. I agree.
So we set the wine on top of my fridge. On Monday, I was getting dinner ready and I'm facing the back wall as usual, chopping veggies. I look up and see this bottle of wine zoom across the room and hit the bottom of the bedroom door without touching the floor first and bouncing or anything, and then just roll to a stop. Oh, so it very deliberately kind of went bang, stopped on the floor, and it was just there.
But it flew off the fridge.
Yeah. Right in front of me. Nothing else fell, let alone take a flight across the room. I was shocked and didn't move for a few moments. Maybe it was some weird vibration or what the fuck? I carefully walk over and try to reason this out. With the knife still in my hand because I'm no dummy.
I get it. Smart.
I take a picture of it from the inside of my bedroom door because it didn't make sense. I'll attach pictures. Please excuse my messy kitchen. But I also just measured the height of my fridge, which is 68 inches, and the distance from the fridge to the door, which is 101 inches. Things don't fly over 8 feet across the room by themselves and not take anything out with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if it's going to fly 8 feet, it's going to touch the door.
Yeah.
I text my boyfriend about it because if I'm about to get ghost murdered, I want the cops to know it wasn't him.
Fair. Good foresight.
Yeah, great. Honestly, you kept the knife. You would never be in a horror movie because you've got your shit together too much. His response to my text is why I love him so much. Eventually, I get over the weird feeling, put the wine back up, away from the edge, and finish dinner. 3 months later, on January 15th, the day after my birthday, I'm cooking again, and the same bottle of wine that I deliberately made sure was not on the edge of the fridge falls straight down and shatters. Nothing else before or since has fallen from the top of the fridge.
I love his response. She sent a picture of the text. It was really funny. And so she told him what happened, and his response was like, but is the wine okay? Yeah, that's pretty cool. She sent pictures of it all. It was pretty interesting.
But how's the wine?
But how's the wine? And I think I wrote her back and I was like, well, it sucks you got the teetotal and ghost.
Yeah. No wine in this house. Maybe they were trying to sneak it back to their room so their little ghost arm just tried to snatch it real quick and it looked like it was flying across the room.
They went a little too hard with it. They're ghost energy is stronger than human energy.
Damn
and they went too far.
Too far.
Too far.
Too drunk.
All right, so this was sent in by Tia H. When I was slightly younger, around the age of 14 or 15, I used to babysit my youngest brother for my mum. I feel like we have a European, and I love that.
Mum.
For my mum, while she went out for the night. My brother was 1 to 2 years old at the time, which will be relevant later on. I don't live with my mum, which I can't say it. I can't not say it, but my mum.
My mum.
I'm sorry. Which meant I would be picked up by her and taken to her house, only to be stuck there until she came home later that evening, or in most cases, early hours in the morning. Almost every time I went over there to babysit, the baby monitor would play up and crackle. I hate baby monitors. I hate the whole concept. I mean, I hate the whole ghost concept.
Yeah.
Not to mention my baby brother was a rather heavy breather, so his loud, deep breaths coming through the monitor were rather unnerving. Get it? The more I would babysit, the more things would progressively get worse. It started out slowly with tappings and creaks that could easily be put down to the house settling. However, these soon turned into distinguishable footsteps above me. As I mentioned previously, my brother was 1 to 2 years old at the time in a cot that he couldn't climb out of, even if he could. So like a bassinet, it sounds like. He would have come...
I think our crib is their cot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even if he could, he would have come downstairs to me. One night in specific, the footsteps were so loud that not only could I hear them from downstairs, but I could hear them through the baby monitor.
Ew.
That's way worse for some reason. It's like double validation.
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
Not only are you hearing it, but it exists because you're hearing it.
You're hearing it for real. Yeah. I decided to go upstairs just to check on my brother. I mean, yeah, you did the right thing, but good for you. To make sure he was asleep and to try to find some sort of logic to these noises. When I got to the top of the stairs, I noticed his bedroom door was open and it looked like a black void inside. And there was a chilling finger...
Wait, hold on. Excuse me.
No. A chilling feeling lingering.
It's a chilly thing. All right.
There was a chilling feeling lingering around me. That's hard. My mom's landing light didn't work either, so I used the torch on my phone, love that, walked to his room, checked that he was asleep and okay, then bolted back downstairs. I only ever told my mom once about the tapping, and she dismissed it as old pipes. That's always such a common thing. So I kept my new experiences to myself. However, recently me and one of my brothers were talking about my mom's old house, as he lived with my mom at the time of her staying in that house. He randomly asked me if I believed in the paranormal and told me that he had had nightmares and experiences of his own in that house that sounded extremely similar to mine. He told me that he managed to find out the previous owner had died in that house from suicide, which I now believe the black void to have been a possible manifestation of the previous owner's depression. We validated each other on not being completely insane and found some relief that we had someone who knew that there was something otherworldly in the house.
That's comforting. You know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that baby monitor thing makes me want to throw up.
I don't love that.
And the chilly finger was perfect. Is it like a really cold finger, or is it a finger covered in like Hormel chili?
Icy hot. Just dabs you on the back of your neck.
Just gotcha.
Even if you wash it off, it's still going to tingle for 30 minutes.
It's cold, then it's hot.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. That chili finger thing is ridiculous.
Here we go. Our penultimate story here is from Denise B. I'm just rattling my mic. Sorry about that. I teach at an older yoga studio in
Mesopotamia.
In Chili Finger, Arizona.
Gross. I just picture this long, unthreatening, just...
Stop it! Ew! I hate it. I don't know why. It's just you, but the way
you're like,
you know what? It reminds me of Instajim's hand. Is what it reminds me of.
He would have a chili finger.
Fuck. From now on. Okay. So sorry. I teach at an older yoga studio in Mesa.
I think Mesa.
Okay.
M-E-S-A.
Arizona.
Yeah.
I believe full-heartedly the studio has a permanent ghostly residence.
Okay.
Multiple teachers, myself included, despite doing regular smoke cleansings, sound clearings, prayers, and chantings, the thing still likes to hang around. It doesn't have a malicious feeling, or at least not that I have felt. It seems to be more or less a part of the building. All right. I see Yoga Pose names. I'm going to need your help.
Okay.
Okay. I hadn't been teaching at the studio long when I came into contact with this entity. During Savasana?
Let me see.
Corpse pose, I believe.
I don't know why I took this without asking you to show me where it is.
I got all these paper cuts now.
Where was it? Savasana.
During Savasana, I watched over my students meditating. I watch over my students meditating and will often spray essential oil blends into the air.
Lovely.
And walk around doing some third eye massages. Can I come?
Yeah, I'm going to drive out there and be a student.
Christ. When I returned to I'll deal with the ghost.
Yeah.
For a third eye massage and some essential oils? And I get to lay in corpse pose? Are you serious? Whoa. When I returned to my mat and it was quiet with no one moving, I heard footsteps walking around the studio floor, yet no one was there. I even had a student open their eyes and look around. The footsteps were closest to her, and she must have thought it was me coming back around. So when somebody confirms it...
Yeah, that's always the...
It's an older building, so I shrugged it off. Is the floor settling since it was a hot yoga class and things were cooling down? After that class, I hung around the studio to clean and do some paperwork before closing up. We used an iPad for adding and checking in members. I had the iPad open with our program pulled up across to cross-verify waivers with members' accounts. While I was writing some notes down and not using the iPad for a few minutes, the screen dimmed. Still not touching the iPad, the screen brightens and the program on the iPad closes out. The screen then begins to rapidly switch back and forth between pages of apps.
Great.
My full attention is on this fucking iPad. My body is covered head to toe in goosebumps. I continue to watch it as multiple apps are being pulled up and then closed. Some ghost is like, the fuck is this?
What is this?
It wasn't normal sliding through the apps, though. The screen looked as if it was shaking or...
Oh, like someone was fucking with it.
Ew. This goes on for several minutes. It finally pulls up the program that I was using before and begins to mess around in the program, clicking on random buttons, or so I thought. It begins to open the list of members and proceeds to scroll through the list of members. It clicks on a member's name, opens their profile, and then clicks on Send Email to Member. At this point, the email box opens up and clicks within the box, pulling up the keyboard. The screen begins to quiver. I don't like it. And the letter H was typed. I grabbed the iPad, closed out the application, and firmly yelled, "Stop! Leave now." My goosebumps left, and it was quiet. I went back to doing my thing, still thinking in the back of my mind, what the hell just happened? Mm-hmm. Was it an entity? Was somebody hacking us?
Yeah, a glitch.
What was it trying to type? Hello? Help? Hungry?
Mm-hmm.
And me as a ghost. Hungry. My brain flew to all the H words I could think of. A few minutes go by, and I am almost finished with some sort of paperwork when the iPad screen lights up again, swipes to open the applications, and begins to wig out again. The goosebumps return. At this point, I'm pissed. I yell again, "Stop it! I said stop!"
Listen, you!
Halt! The screen goes still, and whatever it was storms off into the studio and knocks my yoga block over.
I really am feeling this ghost.
It's like a kid. You got any games on your iPad? And you say no, and it's like...
I love, and the little foam yoga block. I love that. Just swatting that out of the way. And I like to imagine it's a very quiet...
It's just kind of... just a very, like, muted... The little thing had a tantrum when I told it no.
Yeah, it did. I love that.
Since that experience, I haven't had any issues with the iPad, but I still hear it walking around the studio from time to time. Just recently doing Savasana.
That's
again.
how my yoga app pronounces it.
So Savasana?
Savasana.
It opened the door to the studio about a quarter of the way and then slammed the door hard. The skeptic in me says it was just a bizarre draft in the studio, although all the doors to the outside are heavy and shut. Non-skeptic side of me says it was that punk-ass ghost throwing more attitude
I think it was. I think it's his studio.
So it's very, there is a thing with, like, keyboards and stuff, because anything with written language, something might be attracted to, like, try to communicate, right? That's why spirit boards and stuff have the alphabet written out, is so you can communicate, like in Stranger Things with the lights, right? So that's a thing. Like, I've heard that before. If people leave, like, Word docs up or whatever, like, shit can kind of start to type. Although it's usually, like, not fully thought out sentences.
Yeah.
It's just, like, a couple, like, it starts to
what
type
it's
something.
Able to do.
But, like, until it exhausts itself and, like, runs out of energy. But I don't like H. Because I feel like hello's coming up pretty quick behind that. Although, you know what, that could have been, again, it could have been a young person and they were just going to say hi. And then they were like, you yell at it, so they storm off and knock your yoga.
That's the best part.
That's my favorite
That
part.
is my favorite thing in the whole thing. All right, here we go.
Here we go now.
Greetings from the UK, bitches.
I love a good UK. I love a good greeting.
I love a good intro like that.
I love being called a bitch.
I've got a spooky story for you.
A good UK spooky story.
But before I dive in, let me have a fangirl moment.
Oh!
I've only recently found your podcast.
Oh, hi.
I've been periodically looking for a good witchy pod for over a year now and never found one.
How come we've never used the term witchy pod
Witchy
before?
pod. I
All
like
right.
it. But as my mind became spiritually more focused this year, your pod popped up. And whether it be fate or these pesky algorithms reading my internet searches for spells, I'm grateful for it, so thank you.
Hey, I'm grateful too.
I'm grateful. Thanks for Witchy Pod. We're going to take that.
Run with it.
Anyway, the following event took place on my 2015 student accommodation in the UK town of Huddersfield.
Oh.
Cute.
Huddersfield.
I had recently moved in, ready to start university. They're so much more proper. What, you're college.
School?
What do you go to school for?
College.
My decision to move into this particular accommodation was swayed by the fact that it used to be a mental asylum.
Oh my gosh. Can we be best friends?
It's called Storth's Hall, if you'd like to Google it. It makes for interesting reading.
I would love to Google that.
And one half of the derelict building still stood just beyond the woods that separated the nudie
the nudie section.
That separated the newly developed accommodation site. I'll be at the nudie site. I was
where they hide all the nudie mags.
Yeah, you know, the nudie mags. All the rags, they're all out there, all the porn rags. I was infatuated with the place, the alleged history and the mystery that shrouded the site. The accommodation itself always felt charged with a noticeable energy, but wasn't overwhelming. It was just noticeable. Anyway, one particular day, I was sat in my bedroom with the door propped open. The layout of the flat was one long central corridor with...
Did you say sad in my bedroom or sat?
I was sat
in
my bedroom. I was sad in my bedroom.
I was sad in my bedroom.
I honestly, college, yeah, probably. At one point, many points, yes, you were. One particular day, I was sat in my bedroom with the door propped open. The layout of the flat was one long central corridor. Flatmate. With each bedroom spidering off that.
Ugh.
My bedroom was close to the main entry, and I was sat at the desk with my back to the door working on my laptop. It was a large, oldish laptop, which had a reflective trim around the screen. I sat there working while the top of the screen trim, I saw a blonde figure in a red jumper rush past. There was no noise, no footsteps, nothing. Just a blonde figure in red darting past. I lived with 3 other males and 3 females in this accommodation, and 2 of those females were blonde. Not fazed, but slightly annoyed by whoever it was who didn't say hello as they passed. I went through the corridor and headed for my blonde friend's room. It was locked. I went to the other girls and it was locked too. Puzzled, I tried all of the doors, all locked. I was the only one home. I was home alone, I know this because the doors were big, heavy fire doors and the locks were clunky. There was no way anyone silently opened or locked the doors. I also know I was alone because shortly after the main door opened and both of my blonde flatmates, there it is, came trailing and clutching shopping bags, followed by the rest. Trying to rationalize the situation, I had completely forgot that everyone had gone on a group shopping trip except for me, as I had some work to do. To my dismay, this was the only time I ever actually saw something, and I feel I wasn't supposed to see it at that time. Like I said, the energy wasn't particularly negative. I think all of our past occupiers partying cleared that out, but it was noticeable. Any ideas of what the figure could be doing? Kind of sounds residual to me.
So, yeah, a jumper, I believe, over there is what we call sweaters.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. They call jumpers sweaters.
Oh.
Sweaters, jumpers.
Okay, that makes some Alt-J lyrics make more sense.
Why? Did they say something about a jumper?
Because, he has a lyric, I'm going to paw at you like a cat paws at my woolen jumper. And I was like, why is he wearing a full, like, I think of jumper like us. I think it's like, almost a full woolen jumper sounds so hot.
Oh, shit. I think, when I hear jumper, I think, like, overalls almost.
Yeah, that's what it was. So they call jumpers sweaters.
Yeah, no, they call sweaters jumpers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like, like a sweatshirt.
Okay.
Because, I mean, a sad fact is sometimes people die when they're at school.
Well, and the fact that it didn't ever feel like too strong of an energy, it just felt like an energy, makes me think it's just that static, repetitious, maybe.
It's just a thing that happened, and it's there, and it doesn't even necessarily have any kind of soul or spirit attached to it.
Like cognizance in there. It could just be energy that just replays.
Ooh. Maybe it sees your two flatmates who are also blondes, and it's like, thinks it wants to be like part of the club. Wants to hang out with you.
Maybe it does. Maybe it's like, well, hey, you didn't go on the shopping trip, so I'll like.
Yeah, maybe it was like there to hang out and like raid your fridge.
Raid your fridge. It's just hungry.
That's the other. Hungry. Okay. Our last story comes from Jennifer K. Jennifer K says, "Hey, witches.
Hey.
I've been binging your podcast." Spelled two different ways. Spelling? Question mark? I've been binging your podcast, following your socials, and leaving comments and reviews just because I can't help myself.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. So I'm finally getting around to emailing you both. We all know you love emails. Ha ha ha. We do love them.
Love them. We're just not great at promptness.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah. We're just doing our best.
Yeah, I see all the emails and I just go, oh.
Yeah, it is. It's honestly very like, okay.
Shit.
Or I could crawl back in bed and be just overwhelmed for a little longer.
If I ignore how bad I am at things, I won't be bad at them anymore.
It's like Schrodinger's like cat. It's
it either is or it isn't.
It's only as bad as it is if you decide that
just don't look at it and it doesn't exist anymore.
Exist.
Oh my God.
But we do love emails.
No. All right. I thought I would share with you a bit of a story, not my own, unfortunately, but that I grew up hearing.
Okay.
I'll try not to ramble, but if you both are amateur witches, I'm an amateur writer. Forgive me. All right, you can dig it.
You're forgiven.
Backstory. My mother grew up very religious. Although despite that, she had my sister at a very young age and raised my sister with the help of her religious parents. My mom and sister lived in this small little apartment that I've heard many stories from, but this one, for whatever reason, has been a major talking point for most of my life.
Okay.
My sister was asleep in her small single bed tucked in the corner of the room, roughly facing the door and the closet door. We all love those closets. Things happen in closets. And on 2 separate occasions, she woke up and saw in the corner of the room / roof an entity. Now, I'm not sure what order this happened in, but one of the entities my sister describes as a demon, just seething evil, watching her.
I wonder if it, like they mean upper corner, like up high, maybe.
Oh, like the roof.
Like up there, like up in the corner.
I get you. Okay. Ew, just hanging out in the ceiling.
Mm-mm.
She can't describe what it looked like, but she knew it was there, and in her core, it was evil.
Yeah, you can feel that
and she was terrified. On one occasion, she called out to my mom, who came down the hallway, walked into the room, and from the doorway, witnessed the entity in the room at the time.
Wow, that never happens.
Yeah, where it just dissipates. The second entity, the one my mom saw, they say was an angel. Ethereal and white light and peaceful, but also overwhelming.
Yeah.
Now, I don't follow the religion anymore, but I grew up with this story, and these stories and similar encounters, which as a young child often kept me from exploring things I was drawn to further, because they used this as proof their religion was the truth.
Gotcha.
Yep. Now that I'm learning more as a witchling / baby witch. I love witchling.
I do too. I think it's cute.
I believe they simply assigned their beliefs to spirits that they may have seen. That's what I believe the case is in a lot of
A lot of
things.
times, yeah.
But there are tools they could have used to protect themselves or keep these spirits or understand why they were there in the first place. The story has brought to my mind when you did the episode on the man in black and the friendly little girl spirit. Sorry to bring them back up.
Yeah, it's all right.
He's there. He's permanent. He
just is. I think my mom's stubbornness keeps him at bay, though. I really do.
I feel like if she wanted to, she could be terrified on the inside, but if she wanted to, he could tap her on the shoulder and she would turn around and just be like, I don't hear nothing. Mm-hmm. And he would be like, the fuck? What?
She would play the game like, do you hear something?
Yeah,
like the ignoring game.
She would just kind of look through him. Inside, maybe she's panicking, but on the outside, she's like, you're not going to fucking win. I can see that. And him just being like, well, I guess I'll quit.
Well, shit.
It's not like Macy.
Yeah, I think me believing in it, me and Rustin believing in it fed it. Right?
It's like, I'm going to get these kids.
Yeah.
Additionally, I am curious if you two have, and I'm still catching up on the episodes, or if you might consider doing an episode on things that people say to try to keep people away from the craft, or how you or maybe other listeners deal with being and coming out of the broom closet.
We both have personal experience with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Big time.
Yeah. And there's a lot of things that people say. There's a lot of things. You know what I've heard a lot is in relation to things that aren't even remotely related. I remember back in high school, you remember those rubber band bracelets everybody was wearing?
Yeah.
Those like emo.
They were, yeah.
I would hear all the time, they'd be like, it's things like that are, that, and it would start very innocuous like that. It'd be like that and talking on cell phones and playing with Ouija boards and summoning the devil.
It
would just kind of
downward.
kind of go, and you're like, are you really looping in having coffee with...
Do you just like to make lists?
Summoning the devil, but they would say it in a very almost condescending way of like, did you know these things are a form of witchcraft?
Yeah. Everything growing up was witchcraft here.
And then you didn't need to say anything else. I feel like we live in a time, and there are definitely places of the world where you can say words like witch and witchcraft where people are like, oh, okay, that's a thing. You know, that's fine.
Yeah.
Here, once you say witchcraft, immediately everyone knows, oh, that's evil.
That's the devil.
It's synonymous with, evil.
Yeah, you work with demons.
We could do a whole episode on that easily. I have studied astrology mostly in secret my whole life, as is the witch way.
Yeah.
The first time I revealed it to a boyfriend back when I was in high school, he betrayed my secret and told his family, who then too cornered me and told me that they've been there and tried it and that I'm being led to the devil. That sounds exactly.
Throw the whole boyfriend away.
Throw out the entire... If I didn't get out of it before I got too deep, bad things would start happening to myself and my family, and these forces would take away every good thing in my life. I know this speech. I know these people.
I've heard those words.
Are you from the South, perchance?
Yeah.
Every good thing in my life, and the only way to turn it is to turn to God.
Great.
In the Christian Catholic sense. Yeah, I know that talk. Another point of dismissal/deterrent was while I was wearing a crystal pendant. See, it's shit like that.
Yeah.
Little things that don't even... Seriously? You could just be wearing it because it's cute, but they're like, Sharon, I just think you should know witches are wearing things like that. Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be associated with those people.
I saw you wearing it. It's very pretty, but I just think you should know Wiccans do that. Anyway, I was wearing a crystal pendant. An acquaintance of mine commented quite condescendingly. This whole part of your email is making me mad. An acquaintance of mine commented quite condescendingly, "Do you believe those actually work?" Being able to muster up the courage to respond, "Yes, I do," was almost impossible, and I hesitated. My heart just sank in my stomach because I know that this person is a very logic and reality-based person, and there were others around, and that their opinions of me on an intellectual basis would have really just dropped.
That's why a solid doesn't matter. Yeah. Doesn't matter?
Yeah.
Response is great. I love answering people's questions with questions. Like, do you really think that worked? Do you really think that matters?
Especially if it's that kind of question.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody says, hey, can you pass me the salt? You'd be like, why would I do that? That's
just being a dickhole.
But if somebody asks you a dickhole question, I think a dickhole answer is completely
It's very
acceptable.
disarming.
Yeah.
It's so disarming.
Because they come at you very, like, upper hand, but if you just come back with that, I love does it matter?
Does that matter? Doesn't matter.
Let's see. Their opinion level of me would have dropped, and I hate that. I feel as though had the conversation been about a religion, nobody would have batted an eye. I know screw whatever they think, but this opinion that my beliefs and practices aren't worth being recognized or respected just makes me so mad. I wish I could share and show these people how amazing it can be, and it makes me so sad. Yeah, see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Is it's all goodness.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
Even my partner at the present, not religious but spiritual... No, not religious, not spiritual, excuse me. Very rooted in reality. And they listen and let me learn. That's good.
That's nice.
But outwardly, I don't call myself a witch, but I am. And they asked one day if I would start using that word, and I asked why. And they said, because it would be weird. And that undertone of crazy makes me feel so misunderstood. And I'm trying to share how it is for me about creating and coming into my own power and diving into these things I have a deep connection to, and finding a sort of peace and vibe for my own life. I'm ranting and rambling, and if you have any stories or advice, I would love to hear it. Thank you so much for giving me some sense of a coven. Stay spooky, keep vibing. I want to say something that may be unpopular, because I feel like a lot of people's first instinct is to be like, oh, he said it was weird, and it would be weird. Go, leave him. You know what I mean? I just want to say, in my own experience, when I kind of was toying around with that and kind of dropping little hints and words around Clark, I think I said something, I phrased it, I was like, what if I, and I almost did it, it's like, what if I did this? It'd be so funny.
Rhetorical question.
Listen here. But I said something about, like, what if I became a witch? He was like a witch? And he was thinking, like pointing at witch. And he goes, I was like, yeah, like a witch, like a real one.
Yeah, I think a lot of time the understanding does not match.
What the image, you know. And he goes, and this is a very Clark thing to say in the way he's phrased it. I wouldn't believe in you.
That is so Clark.
And he wasn't saying...
I know exactly what he means.
He wouldn't believe in me, like, I don't believe in you. It means, like, in the same way I wouldn't believe in Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, at the time, that was like, I was like, oh, I just have to do this in secret.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a deep conversation where we sat down and talked about it, and he knew, like, how important it was. But it was very early, and it was, like, the first thing. It was the first time I dropped the W word. And then after time, doing it, and me using it more, and being around other things that use it very openly, he now does not bat an eye at it.
See, I feel like Hunter labeled me a witch before I comfortably labeled myself a witch.
I could see it.
Like, and he would do it jokingly, but, like, I'd be doing something, and he'd be like, well, you're the witch now. Like,
oh yeah, I remember.
He would say shit like that all the time. Be like, well, I don't know, like, you're the witch. Like, what do you?
Well, I know. I remember a few times after the podcast started, and we were, obviously the witch bitch amateur hour. I remember he would do that still. Even then, he would do something. He'd be like, well, I guess you're a witch now. So, like,
you're just be like, all right, well, that's a thing.
But my advice is to be open with people as much as you want them to be open with you, because sometimes there is that period of adjustment. And let's be honest, like, as much as we all love this, let's be really honest. Words like spell and witch and coven can feel real silly.
Well, you gotta remember, and you have to understand,
they don't know the background.
And the meaning that they associate with those words is so much more different than what you mean.
Yeah.
And a lot of that, like, and this is like what we talked about with tolerance. Oftentimes, intolerance is met head to head by both sides because both sides don't understand.
Yeah.
Both sides.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I mean, it's very possible that, that was said because they're picturing, just like Clark was, witch, like, it's like literal.
What if you become a witch? Like, what are you talking about?
What is that even? You really think that you're going to, like, fucking turn frogs into people?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Shit like that. They just don't know. And it's just slowly. I feel like an episode of yours and my coming out slowly with our significant others would be a pretty great episode.
Yeah. You know, we could even do it for like Hot Boys and sit down with them and talk about okay, listen.
What do you remember about us doing this? Because I'm sure that's hilarious.
Oh my God. But there can be a period of like, here's your understanding. This is only going to work if you're watching on Patreon. Yeah. Because it's visual. But like, here's your understanding of something and here's their understanding of something. And sometimes you just have to level out, in the middle. You know? Because even though, to me now, saying witch, I don't even think of a Halloween style witch.
I think of a spiritualist.
Yeah. I think of somebody who makes shit out of herbs and shit like that.
Yeah.
Or even how like a lot of Wiccans refer to themselves like that's just their label. Like you say like this is something I do. However, there are people out there who don't even think of that. They don't even consider that a witch is just somebody who wears crystal necklaces. Yeah. You know? So that's my advice.
That'd be a good episode. We'll have to do that.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all, folks.
We still have quite a thick boy of stories here. We're going to keep adding to them in the order that we receive them. And we're going to keep on cranking them out. We have some stories for next time. And as we said, next time will be real good.
Serious shit.
Some serious shit. Also, by the way, if y'all see moving, we may have addressed this. There is a fan.
Yeah, you'll see maybe shadows and shit back there.
However, whew, that froze. However, that hallway is the hallway I've talked about before. That is where I see shit. So if you think you've seen something, especially if it's passing through, because that's what I see all the time.
Just let us know.
So that was Spookysode number 6.
Nice.
We have a Facebook page. Where can you come eat with us on Facebook?
You can come eat with us at Witch Amateur Hour. No bitch on Facebook.
No bitch on Facebook.
Or you can just search the Witch Bitch Amateur Hour.
Sure. We have a chili-fingered Mr. Jim. Insta Jim.
I'm picturing like salad fingers, but a cold, icy finger.
I hate cold. Icy. He's got his one hand left. It's about to go. One of his fingers has now been frostbitten.
Yeah, and it's cold.
Chili fingered Jim. Shake his hand.
If you dare.
Wear a glove.
His finger might break off in your hand.
That's okay. That's all right. He's expecting it.
Yeah.
You might not be, but he is. Shake Mr. Jim's hand over at
Witch Bitch Amateur Hour.
Bitch.
What are we going to do when Jim completely disappears?
Look, we're still in the hands.
He'll just be a ghost at that point.
We got a lot of body to go on Jim. I mean, he is 8 feet tall. We can go inch by inch.
No, that is very true.
Yeah. We have one Twitter where we one tweet at
where we one tweet Corey Bowling's tweets at Bitch Hour.
What other socials? We have a Gmail, an email Gmail. At wbahpodcast at gmail.com.
That's the one.
Send us your spooky stories. Maybe, just maybe, if you've already sent us a story in the past, you'll be featured in our super dope lit fam episode coming up in 10 more episodes. Or for Halloween, I guess.
We'll figure it out.
Well, yeah.
It's one of those days.
It'll be one of these times.
We'll be soon.
Please check up on us on social media about this time. Somebody tag us in something, ask us if we're still alive, because as you're hearing this, we're recording our very scary episode.
Yep.
And we'll need to hear from you guys. We'll need it.
We have an advertised cast.
Sure do.
You can search the Witch Bitch Amateur Hour podcast and find us. We have a couple different types of ads that we can do. And as always, we're doing ads for people that we feel fit well within the practice of our listeners and things like that. Things that will be relevant for you guys, just like the ever impressive and amazing Cleverkins Curios.
Yes. If you make a witchy item or offer a witchy service, hit us up over there. You know, see what it's all about. Got a big coven. We got a big e-coven. A big digital coven we have. And, you know, put your shit in their ear holes. And we have the cutest, sweetest, sugar-covered, googly-eyed P.O. box in Texas. Now I'm just picturing sugar covered like sugar slime from the beans.
It's covered in ants.
Oh, and now like one of the eyes has popped off. Everything's becoming Jim.
I know.
What's our P.O. box?
Jim.
Jim, if you want to send us something, Jim shows up on your doorstep and he holds his one hand out.
I'm picturing him like Haster from fucking Good Omens. Like the nasty demon that with the white hair that's on, he's all gross. And that's what I'm picturing.
For some reason, when you said Good Omens, I did not think Good Omens. I immediately thought a series of unfortunate events for some reason.
Count Olaf.
I don't.
Jim is Count Olaf. The P.O. Box is P.O. Box 865, Canton, Texas 75103.
We do have our live show coming up, quickly approaching.
Very, very, very fast.
October 13th, if you're interested, search the pagan pop-up. You can find it in the link in our description box. You can Google it. You can go to Facebook and look it up.
Fun time.
Come on down and see us.
Good family-friendly outing, really, honestly. Like, there were...
Wholesome.
There were lots of kids there. I mean, it is at a brewery, so of course, like, be smart, you know. But it was a good time.
Yeah.
It's 1 to 8, so it's not like it runs late or anything.
It's not
on
too
a Sunday.
Crazy. Yeah. And there's going to be music there. I believe a lot of the bands are going to be local to the DFW area, which I'm all about. Mm-hmm. With a little bit of a punk flair to some of them. So I'm just happy as can be about it. I do love me a good punk. Okay, kids, sit down.
I'm tired.
All right, guys and ghouls. Goyles and I can't say it properly anymore.
Goyles and boils? Is that what it was
Ghouls
originally?
and boils. Except because it doesn't really rhyme.
Ghouls and boils. I don't like that.
Boils and goyles. Gargoyles. Boils and gargoyles.
Boils and... Sure.
Either way, whatever you want to be called, we'll see you next time.
Beans. Bye, beans. Bye, beans. I wanna kiss you all over. No, I can't. All right, here it is.